Hey, this is Andrew Brown, your favorite cloud instructor over here on FreeCodeCamp, bringing you another free cloud certification. And this time it's the Microsoft Power Platform Fundamentals, also known as the PL-900. And the purpose of this course is to help you pass and achieve Microsoft certification so you can go put that on your resume or your LinkedIn so you can go get that job promotion or get your first cloud role you've been looking for. The way we're going to achieve that is through lecture content, hands-on labs, and also a free practice exam. If you want to help support more free cloud certification courses, the best thing you can do is to purchase the additional study materials. But if you don't have the money, don't worry, because you can definitely pass using the free content here. So as always, I've taught a lot of courses here: Microsoft, Azure, Google, Terraform, Kubernetes, you name it. I've taught it for cloud over here. So you are in good hands, and I will see you soon in class. Ciao. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we're at the start of our journey asking the most important question first, which is, what is the Microsoft Power Platform Fundamentals? So the Microsoft Power Platform Fundamentals is an entry-level Microsoft certification. It has no prerequisites, so you don't need to have any prior knowledge of the Power Platform components or the cloud to learn this specific course. This course covers the following key topics: understanding the business value of Power Platform and its components such as Power Apps, Power BI, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents. Identifying the capabilities and limitations of each Power Platform component. Understanding the Dataverse, formerly Common Data Service, and how data connectors and external services can be integrated. Creating basic canvas and model-driven Power Apps. Creating and sharing Power BI dashboards and reports. Creating automated workflows using Power Automate. Understanding the use cases of Power Virtual Agents. And knowledge of the basics of AI and the Power Platform's AI Builder capabilities. So, who is this certification for? The certification is designed for individuals who are interested in learning how to leverage the Power Platform to streamline business processes, automate tasks, and create custom solutions. You may consider this certification if you are new to Power Platform and want to learn the fundamentals and benefits of Power Platform in general. You are a business user, administrator, developer, data analyst, or IT professional. You want to understand the capabilities of Power Platform, such as building basic business processes using Power Automate and Power Apps, and gain skills in data analysis with Power BI and creating chatbots with Power Virtual Agents. Or you are a senior Power Platform administrator or developer or in a related role who needs to reset or refresh their knowledge after working for multiple years. So now let's take a look at the Microsoft Power Platform certification roadmap to see where we would go after the Power Platform fundamentals and what kind of roles would be associated with those certifications. So at the start, you get your Microsoft Power Platform fundamentals, which is at the fundamental level. After that, we have the associate level certifications such as the Power Platform App Maker, Power Platform Functional Consultant, and Power Platform Developer. And we have an expert level certification called the Power Platform Solutions Architect. It's really up to you to choose which field you're interested in. A common route could be something like, if you're a developer and want to develop and secure Microsoft Power Platform solutions, you could take the Power Platform Developer at the associate level and then move on to taking the Power Platform Solution Architect at the expert level. If your interest lies more towards data analysis, you could take the Power BI Data Analyst to maximize the value of data assets with advanced analytics, and eventually take the Azure Enterprise Data Analyst to build enterprise-scale data analytics solutions. If you're an IT professional or citizen developer, you could take the Power Platform App Maker to simplify and automate tasks and processes, then take the Power Platform Functional Consultant to extend and customize Microsoft apps and services. It's also common for people to take multiple of these associate level certifications. It doesn't have to be just one. This is to ensure they have a wide range of knowledge on all of these areas for possible career openings. Another route you can take is the Dynamics 365 certifications, which is a suite of enterprise resource planning and customer relationship management applications. It specializes in helping businesses manage and streamline their financials, operations, sales, marketing, customer service, and human resources procedures. Also, if you have an interest in cloud computing, you can explore options such as the Azure Administrator and Azure Developer. From there, you could take the Azure Solutions Architect or DevOps Engineer at the expert level. So, as you can see, there are many possible paths to take, and these are not all the ones available on the list. Ultimately, it's up to you to decide what you want to specialize in. Keep in mind that there is no single perfect route. These suggestions are simply intended to provide some guidance and help you make your own choice. So, how long is it going to take to pass this certification? Well, it's going to really depend on your background. But if we had to generalize it, we can look at it as kind of a scale. And so if you are at the beginner level, you're looking at roughly 16 hours. And when we say beginner, we're saying someone that has never used Microsoft Power Platform products like Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, etc. Someone that has never used Microsoft Azure or any cloud provider, or someone that has no tech background or experience. And when we're looking at the other side of the spectrum, which is someone that is experienced, we're looking at somebody who can watch this at 1.5 to 2 times speed and are able to absorb this information very quickly. So they have practical working experience with the Power Platform products and is familiar with using them. They have experience with Microsoft Azure or any cloud provider like Amazon Web Services or GCP, so they can easily translate that knowledge. Or they have a strong background in technology where they've worked in the industry for many years. And so their study time is going to be a lot shorter at 7 hours or less. And so on average, most people are going to take about 12 hours to study for this course. And when we talk about the kind of stuff you'll be doing, it's going to be 50% lecture and labs, and we call them follow-alongs, where the idea is you follow along in your own account. And then other 50% is the practice exams. So if you look at the length of the content, which is around 3 hours, then you should spend as much time doing practice exams to pass. And the recommended time to study is about 1 to 2 hours a day for roughly 10 days. So what kind of effort are we going to have to put in to pass the exam? Well, you have to watch the lecture videos and memorize key information. You'll need to do hands-on labs and follow along with your own account. Although as a fundamental certification, the certification is not very heavy on hands-on material, but it will provide a much greater understanding of the topics you'll need to know for the exam. And you will need paid online practice exams that simulate the real exam. And the last two here were things that I used to never suggest because you could literally just watch the videos and pass. However, Microsoft has recently updated this exam, so it's a bit more difficult. And so for these last 2 points, you do have to do these 2 things. For the paid online practice exams, that can be hard for some people. So I've made it easier for you by providing you with a full free practice exam on exampro.co/PL-900. And so you just have to sign up with no credit card required, and you'll get a full set of questions that simulate the real exam. So for the contents of the exam, the certification exam consists of 6 domains, each with its own weightage that determines the number of questions from that domain that will appear. So for domain 1, which is business value of Microsoft Power Platform, we're looking at 20 to 25%. For domain 2, identify foundational components of Microsoft Power Platform, we should expect 10 to 15% of the questions from there. For domain 3, the capabilities of Power BI, we're sitting at around 10 to 15% of the questions. For domain 4, the capabilities of Power Apps, we have roughly 20 to 25% of the questions. For domain 5, capabilities of Power Automate, it's about 15 to 20% of the questions. And for domain 6 are the complementary Microsoft Power Platform solutions, which include Power Virtual Agents and Power Pages. It's about 15 to 20% of the questions. Overall, the exam is mostly well-balanced and evenly distributed across all 6 domains, so you won't be faced with an excessive amount of questions from a particular domain that may not be your strong suit. So, where do you take the exam? Well, you can take the exam at an in-person test center or online from the convenience of your own home. Microsoft is partnered with the Test Center Network Pearson VUE, and it offers in-person or online, and these exams are proctored, meaning there is somebody watching you to ensure that you are not cheating. In order to pass the exam, you have to score 700 points out of 1,000, and so 700 generally equates to 70%, but it's around 70% because Microsoft uses scaled scoring. This means that they could adjust it based on how many people are passing or failing, so always aim to get higher than 70%. The exam contains about 40 to 45 questions, so you can afford to get roughly 10 to 12 questions wrong. There is no penalty for wrong questions, such as -1, so you should always choose an answer. And the questions come in a few formats: multiple choice, multiple answer, drag and drop, and yes or no questions. The duration of the exam is 1 hour or 60 minutes, so you have a little more than 1 minute per question. The exam time is 60 minutes, but the seat time is 90 minutes. Seat time refers to the amount of time to review instructions, show the online proctor your workspace, read and accept NDA, and complete the exam and provide feedback. And when you do pass the exam is valid forever. Microsoft's fundamental level exams do not expire, and you do not need to do a recertification. So that about covers the introduction of the course. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be going through an exam guide breakdown of the Microsoft Power Platform Fundamentals certification. So the first thing you want to do is to go to this link here, learn.microsoft.com/en-us/certifications/exams/PL-900. And once you're here, you want to navigate to this link called PL-900 Study Guide. This will open an organized study guide that Microsoft has prepared for us for the Microsoft Power Platform Fundamentals exam. We've already covered a general overview on what the exam is, who the exam is for, and a brief overview on the topics. But we'll need to cover the exam breakdown in a bit more detail. This is the section we're looking for, skills measured, which have been updated recently as of making this course. So we already covered the 6 main domains. Describe the business value of Microsoft Power Platform. Identify foundational components of Microsoft Power Platform. Demonstrate the capabilities of Power BI. Demonstrate the capabilities of Power Apps. Demonstrate the capabilities of Power Automate. And describe complementary Microsoft Power Platform solutions. So I won't be going through each point on the entire list because it's quite long, but I'll point out the ones that I think you should definitely pay attention to. Starting off with the business value of Microsoft Power Platform services. You'll definitely need to know all of these services listed here and their value and benefits. For the extending business solutions by using Microsoft Power Platform, you'll just need to know the general overview of these services like Dynamics 365 and Microsoft 365 apps. But describing how Microsoft Power Platform apps work together would be the most important one. For the Power Platform administration and governance, the most important one here would be the Power Platform security model and environments. For the Microsoft Dataverse, it's an important one to know things such as tables, columns, and relationships in Microsoft Dataverse. You will probably see business logic and Dataflows in Microsoft Dataverse on the exam, as well as the components of a connector. For Power BI, the 2 important ones here are Power BI Desktop and Power BI Service, and you'll need to know dashboards, workspaces, reports, and paginated reports. You'll also need to know how to build a basic dashboard by using Power BI. For Power Apps, all the sections here, you'll need to know well which are the differences between Canvas apps and model-driven apps, and their use cases and capabilities for both. You'll also need to know how to build a basic Canvas and model-driven app. For the Power Automate section, the most important ones would be Cloud and Desktop Flow, and how Power Automate Cloud Flows use connector triggers and actions. Actions for Power Automate Desktop Flows is another important one. And you'll need to know how to build a basic Power Automate flow. For the complementary Microsoft Power Platform solutions, you'll mostly just need a general overview of Power Virtual Agents and the purpose of topics, entities, and actions. You'll also need to know the use cases and capabilities of Power Pages and AI Builder. Once again, there's a lot on the list, so I couldn't mention all the points, so I highlighted the ones I thought were the most important. But throughout the course, we'll definitely cover all of the material in great detail. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and I'll be giving you a walkthrough of our practice exam simulator. So what we're looking at here is a free practice exam I provide for you. All you have to do is sign up on Exam Pro, and you can redeem the free available content here. You don't need a credit card at all. These exam questions are up to date and closely simulates what you'll see on the exam. You'll be getting a full set of 40 questions, so it's a real simulation like the actual exam. So I'll be clicking in here to start the exam, and I'll show you what it'll look like. We won't be going through the entire exam. We'll only be going through a couple of questions, so you can get an idea of how the exam questions are structured and the level of difficulty these questions are. So the first question we have presented with here is you are working for a company that uses Dynamics 365 Sales to manage their sales processes. As part of improving customer experience, the company wants to implement a chatbot on their webpage to interact with customer questions. They want to use Microsoft Power Platform to extend the capabilities of Dynamics 365 Sales. Which application should you use to create a chatbot and extend the capabilities of Dynamics 365 Sales? So we have 4 options to pick from, and in this scenario, the best choice here should be Power Virtual Agents, so we'll choose that. So the next question we have here is you work for a busy e-commerce company that has experienced significant growth in customer support requests. To enhance the support experience for both customers and support technicians, the company wants to implement a tool that enables immediate notifications when new support requests are submitted. Which tool should you recommend to achieve this goal? In this scenario, the answer should be Power Automate. So you'll mostly be seeing multiple choice and multiple select questions, but there'll also be a few true or false and drag and drop questions in there as well. Here's a multiple select question where you have to select two choices to get the right answer. In this scenario, the first two options should be correct, but I don't want to spoil too much for you. Let's end the exam here so you can see how well you performed and to review the questions. Here, we can see that we only answered 2 questions correctly out of the 40. All the practice exam questions provide an explanation on why the answer was correct, and also an explanation for the wrong answers. There'll also be links to the sources and documentation so you can reference the material. You won't need to perform any coding, and they won't ask you anything about code in this exam. The length of the questions can vary. Some questions are short and straight to the point. And in some questions, you'll be given a scenario and you'll have to figure out which tool is best suited for the requirement. In these practice exams, I added a bit more context to it so that you're over-prepared. So if you do really well on these practice exams, you should do well on the actual exam. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be answering the most important question, what is Microsoft Power Platform? Well, Microsoft Power Platform is a line of business intelligence, app development, and app connectivity software applications. Microsoft Power Platform is composed of 5 key products: Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, Power Virtual Agents, and Power Pages. We'll be going through a brief overview of each product, starting off with Power Apps. So, Power Apps provides a rapid low-code development environment for building custom apps for business needs. It has services, connectors, and a scalable data service and app platform to allow simple integration and interaction with existing data. Some of Power Apps' features include creation of web and mobile applications, easy user experience, developers can build custom apps, over 200 connectors to integrate data and systems, pre-built AI scenarios, and it provides private and secure submission of information. Power Automate lets users create automated workflows between applications and services. It helps automate repetitive business processes such as communication, data collections, and decision approvals. Power Automate features: creation of enterprise-grade process automation, simple interface allowing every level of user to automate work tasks. It has hundreds of pre-built connectors. It can utilize AI Builder, and it predicts outcomes to improve performance. Power BI, which stands for Business Intelligence, is a business analytics service that delivers insights for analyzing data. It can share insights via data visualizations which make up reports and dashboards to enable fast, informed decisions. Some of Power BI features include scales across an organization and has built-in governance and security, display data in the most user-friendly way possible, detailed and attractive visualizations, access vast volumes of data from multiple sources, gather, analyze, publish, and share Excel business data, and it can perform real-time stream analytics. Power Virtual Agents enables anyone to create powerful chatbots using a guided, no-code graphical interface without the need for data scientists or developers. It minimizes the IT effort required to deploy and maintain a custom solution by empowering subject matter experts to build and maintain their own conversational solutions. Some of Power Virtual Agents' features include chatbots to perform an action by simply calling a Power Automate flow. Flows help users automate activities or call back-end systems. Reduce costs by easily automating common inquiries. Utilize existing flows that have been created in their Power Apps environment. And improve customer satisfaction. Power Pages is the latest addition to Microsoft Power Platform that allows users to build and publish web pages without the need for extensive coding knowledge. With Power Pages, users can create customized web pages using a drag-and-drop interface and a variety of pre-built templates, blocks, and components. These pages can be connected to a data source such as Dataverse to display and edit data. Power Pages also offers advanced features such as embedding Power BI dashboards and adding custom code. Users can publish their pages as a standalone website or embed them within existing applications. Additionally, Power Pages provides analytics to help users understand page usage and engagement. So that's a brief summary of the 5 main products of Power Platform. We'll be going through these products in greater detail later down in the course. The next topic we'll be covering are the key Power Platform features. Microsoft Power Platform has several cross-cutting features that can be utilized to maximize its potential, including AI Builder, Microsoft Dataverse, and Connectors. AI Builder lets users and developers add AI capabilities to the workflows and Power Apps they create and use. It is a solution that makes it simple to integrate intelligence into your apps and workflows to predict outcomes and enhance business performance without writing code. Microsoft Dataverse is a scalable data service and app platform which lets users securely store and manage data from multiple sources and integrate that data in business applications using a common data model to ensure ease and consistency to users. This platform is the foundation for consolidating, displaying, and manipulating data, allowing the components of Microsoft Power Platform to work together efficiently. Connectors enable you to connect apps, data, and devices in the cloud. They act as a bridge, facilitating the movement of information and commands across systems. There are more than 600 connectors for Microsoft Power Platform, enabling all your data and actions to connect cohesively. Some of the popular connectors include Salesforce, Office 365, Twitter, Dropbox, and various Google services. So these are just a few of the features available in the Power Platform that can be leveraged to realize its full potential. Many organizations face challenges in creating solutions that assist their users and modernize their systems. These difficulties arise from a lack of resources needed to meet the continually evolving demands of modern businesses. Factors that are having an impact on businesses include the changing workforce expectations, the increased costs of custom application development, the need to become more agile, and the requirement to scale development efficiently. Organizations must adapt to the way people work and provide more collaborative digital experiences to empower the upcoming workforce. Custom application development is time-consuming and expensive, and organizations must develop solutions quickly based on fast-changing business demands. To meet these needs, organizations must change how they develop solutions and create hybrid development teams that include citizen developers to empower the entire organization to grow. The Power Platform makes it easy for organizations to address all the challenges mentioned. The business value of Microsoft Power Platform lies in its ability to empower organizations to build custom solutions that automate processes, increase productivity, and drive business outcomes. By enabling non-technical users to build apps, workflows, and chatbots without the need for extensive coding expertise, Power Platform lowers the barrier to entry for digital transformation initiatives. This empowers organizations to rapidly create and deploy solutions that address their unique business challenges, leading to increased agility, streamlined operations, and improved customer experiences. Additionally, the platform's ability to integrate with existing systems and services means that organizations can leverage their current investments while unlocking new capabilities and insights. Power Platform helps reduce total cost of ownership, minimize internal development and support, as well as third-party license costs while improving compliance and security and expanding the pool of available development talent. Power Platform helps increase performance and efficiency, increase business process innovation with applications that improve performance, operational efficiencies, and reduce costs while managing risks effectively. And Power Platform helps provide faster time to value, provide increased business agility with much faster responses to situations, and deliver business innovation in a reduced timescale. In summary, Power Platform helps organizations achieve their digital transformation goals faster, more cost-effectively, and with greater flexibility and scalability than traditional development approaches, ultimately adding significant business value. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and the next topic we'll be covering is how Microsoft Power Platform apps work together with Microsoft Dynamics 365 apps. Microsoft Power Platform and Microsoft Dynamics 365 are two different platforms, but they can work together seamlessly to provide powerful business solutions. Power Apps allows users to create custom business applications with little or no code. These custom apps can be used to perform various tasks such as managing data, automating workflows, and analyzing data. Power Apps can also integrate with Dynamics 365 apps to enhance their capabilities. Dynamics 365 apps are designed for specific business functions such as sales, marketing, customer service, and finance. These apps are built on the common data model, which provides a standard and consistent way to organize and store data across different applications. Power Apps can use the common data model as a data source, allowing them to connect and integrate with Dynamics 365 apps. This means that data can flow seamlessly between Power Apps and Dynamics 365 apps, and users can work with the same data across both platforms. Power Apps can also leverage the advanced functionality of Dynamics 365 apps, such as customer relationship management or enterprise resource planning capabilities. In summary, Power Platform apps and Dynamics 365 apps can work together to provide a unified and comprehensive solution for businesses. Power Apps can be used to extend the functionality of Dynamics 365 apps or create custom apps that integrate with Dynamics 365 data. This integration between the two platforms provides a powerful solution for managing and analyzing business data. Microsoft Power Platform solutions work together with Microsoft 365 apps and services to create a unified approach to digital transformation. With the integration of Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, and Dataverse, businesses can create customized solutions that automate processes, visualize data, and gain insights to drive informed decisions. For example, a company may use Power Apps to create a custom form that captures customer information, and then use Power Automate to automatically send that information to Microsoft Dynamics 365 for sales. They can also use Power BI to create reports that show customer trends and behavior, and use that information to make strategic decisions. The integration with Microsoft 365 allows businesses to leverage existing data sources and systems to build apps and automate workflows. Power Apps and Power Automate can interact with Microsoft Teams, SharePoint, Outlook, and other Microsoft 365 apps, enabling users to easily access data and trigger workflows directly from their familiar interfaces. Additionally, Power BI allows businesses to visualize data from Microsoft 365 apps such as Excel, SharePoint, and Dynamics 365 alongside data from other sources. This provides a comprehensive view of business operations and allows for better decision-making. Overall, the integration of Microsoft Power Platform with Microsoft 365 apps and services allows businesses to streamline their processes, increase productivity, and gain valuable insights to drive their digital transformation journey forward. We've briefly gone over the main Power Platform products and their key features, but we haven't really touched on how Power Platform apps can work together. So, the integration of Microsoft Power Platform apps is achieved through the utilization of a common data model, which is a standardized and modular collection of data schemas designed to work seamlessly together. By leveraging this model, various Power Platform apps such as Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power BI can effectively collaborate and share data. For example, a Power App can use data stored in Microsoft Dataverse, and Power Automate can automate tasks based on data in a Power App. Power BI can then visualize the data from both the Power App and Power Automate to provide insights for informed decision-making. The various Power Platform apps also offer connectors that allow for integration with other services, such as Microsoft 365 apps and third-party applications. By leveraging these connectors, users can create end-to-end solutions that automate complex business processes and improve overall efficiency. Microsoft Power Platform has multiple apps that collaborate to offer a complete solution for users to design and handle personalized apps, automate processes, and analyze data. Power Apps allows users to create custom applications with a drag-and-drop interface. These apps can then be integrated with other Microsoft services and external data sources. Power Automate enables users to automate repetitive tasks and workflows between various apps and services. This can include automating notifications, data collection, approvals, and much more. Power BI is a data visualization tool that allows users to create reports and dashboards to analyze data from multiple sources. The data can come from various sources like spreadsheets, databases, or cloud-based services. Microsoft Dataverse provides a centralized location for data storage and management, allowing users to create and manage data entities and relationships between them. All these apps work together seamlessly, allowing users to create a customized solution that can automate their business processes, manage data effectively, and derive valuable insights through data analysis. The The next topic we'll be covering is how Microsoft Power Platform works with Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Power Platform works seamlessly with Microsoft Teams, a collaboration platform for teams to communicate and work together. With Power Platform integrated into Teams, users can access and use Power Apps, Power BI, and Power Automate without leaving the Teams interface. For example, users can create and share Power Apps directly within a Teams channel or chat, allowing team members to collaborate and access the app in real time. Similarly, users can access and view Power BI reports and dashboards within a Teams channel or chat, making it easier to share data insights and collaborate on analysis. Power Automate can be used to create automated workflows within Teams, enabling users to trigger actions and send notifications in response to specific events. For example, a Power Automate flow can be created to notify a Teams channel when a new item is added to a SharePoint list or trigger a message in Teams when a specific action is taken in a Power App. Power Virtual Agents is a chatbot development platform within Microsoft Power Platform that can be integrated with Microsoft Teams. With this integration, businesses can build and deploy chatbots in Teams to provide 24/7 support, answer frequently asked questions, and automate simple tasks. Overall, the integration of Microsoft Power Platform with Microsoft Teams provides users with a seamless and streamlined experience for collaboration and productivity. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from ExamPro, and the next topic we'll be discussing is how Microsoft Power Platform Business Solutions can consume Microsoft Azure services. Microsoft Power Platform Business Solutions can consume Microsoft Azure services through their integration with Azure APIs and connectors. Azure provides a wide range of cloud services that can be leveraged by Power Platform apps, such as Azure Functions, Azure Cognitive Services, and Azure Machine Learning. One way is through the use of Azure Connectors, which enable Power Platform apps to access and manipulate data stored in Azure services such as Azure Blob Storage, Azure SQL Database, and Azure Event Hubs. This allows businesses to leverage the power of Azure services within their Power Platform solutions. Another way Power Platform can consume Azure services is through the use of Azure Functions, which can be triggered by Power Automate flows. This enables businesses to create custom logic and integrations that run on demand or based on specific events, such as the creation of a new record in Dynamics 365 or the receipt of an email in Outlook. Power BI can also be used to consume Azure services by connecting to data stored in Azure services, such as Azure Data Lake Storage, and visualizing that data through dashboards and reports. This allows businesses to gain valuable insights from their Azure data in a user-friendly and easily digestible format. Power Apps can consume Azure Cognitive Services, which includes AI and machine learning capabilities like natural language processing, speech recognition, and computer vision to add intelligent features to custom applications. Overall, the ability to consume Azure services within Power Platform solutions provides businesses with additional capabilities and flexibility to build powerful, customized solutions that meet their unique needs. The Microsoft Power Platform security model is designed to ensure that data and resources within Power Platform applications are protected from unauthorized access or modification. The security model of Power Platform is based on user roles, permissions, and data governance policies and consists of 3 layers: tenant level, environment level, and data level security. At the tenant level, security is managed by the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, which allows administrators to manage user accounts, access to services, and other settings that impact the entire tenant. At the environment level, security is managed through the Power Platform Admin Center, which allows administrators to create and manage environments and control access to data and applications within those environments. Data level security is implemented using role-based access control and Azure Active Directory to manage permissions and access to data within the platform. This means that administrators can control access to data and actions within the Power Platform using authentication with organizational credentials, ensuring that users only have access to authorized resources and data. The platform also includes audit logging and reporting capabilities, which allow administrators to monitor user activity and identify potential security risks. Power Platform has several built-in security features such as conditional access policies, multi-factor authentication, and data loss prevention policies that can be configured to meet specific security and compliance requirements. Data governance policies can also be implemented within Power Platform to ensure that data is protected and compliant with regulatory requirements. For example, data loss prevention policies can be set up to prevent users from sharing sensitive information outside of the organization, and conditional access policies, which control access to data based on factors such as device type and location. Data protection is ensured through encryption of data both in transit and at rest. Power Platform services use industry-standard encryption protocols to ensure data privacy and protection. Additionally, the platform is designed to comply with various regulatory and industry standards, including GDPR, HIPAA, and ISO 27001, to ensure that organizations can use the platform to store and manage data in a secure and compliant manner. Overall, the Power Platform's security model is designed to ensure the protection and privacy of data while providing flexibility and ease of use to users. In the Power Platform, an environment is a designated space to manage and store an organization's business data, apps, chatbots, and flows. It can be used as a container to separate apps with different roles, security requirements, or target audiences. How environments are utilized will depend on the organization's needs and the apps being built. For example, you can build your apps or chatbots in a single environment. You can group the test and production versions of your apps or chatbots in separate environments. You can create environments for specific teams or departments in your company with relevant data and apps for each audience. Or you might also create separate environments for different global branches of your company. In Power Platform, each environment is associated with an Azure Active Directory tenant and is bound to a specific geographic location. Any resources created in an environment, such as apps, chatbots, connections, and flows, are also bound to that location. Each environment can have only one Dataverse database, which provides storage for your apps and chatbots. The apps you create in an environment can only connect to the data sources in that same environment, including connections, gateways, flows, and Dataverse databases. This means that an app created in one environment cannot connect to the data sources in another environment. For example, consider a scenario where you've created two environments named Test and Dev and created a Dataverse database in each of the environments. If you create an app in the test environment, it will only be permitted to connect to the test database. It won't be able to connect to the dev database. The next topic we'll be covering are environment permissions in Power Platform. So there are two pre-built roles in environments that grant permissions: Environment Admin and Environment Maker. The Environment Admin role can perform all administrative actions on an environment, such as adding or removing a user or group from either the Environment Admin or Environment Maker role, provisioning a Dataverse database for the environment, view and manage all resources created within the environment, and set data loss prevention policies. After creating the database in the environment, you can use the System Administrator role instead of the Environment Admin role. The Environment Maker role can create resources such as apps, connections, custom connectors, gateways, and flows using Power Automate within an environment. Environment makers can share the apps they create with other users or groups within the organization. However, users or groups with these roles are not automatically granted access to the environment's database if one exists. Access to the database must be granted separately. There are 5 main types of environments in Power Platform. 1. Production. This is the default environment, and it's where you deploy your finished apps and solutions that are ready for use by end users. 2. Sandbox. This is a non-production environment that you can use to develop and test your apps and solutions without affecting the data in your production environment. 3. Trial. This is a temporary environment that you can use to evaluate Power Platform before purchasing a license. The trial environment is valid for 30 days. 4. Developer. This is a non-production environment that is designed for developers to build and test their solutions. It provides full access to all Power Platform features and capabilities. And 5. Default. This environment is automatically created for each tenant when it is provisioned. It cannot be deleted, but it can be renamed, and its settings can be customized to meet your organization's needs. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and the next topic we'll be covering is the Microsoft Power Platform Admin Center and where to perform specific administrative tasks. The Microsoft Power Platform Admin Center is a web-based portal that allows administrators to manage and monitor their Power Platform environments, including Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, and Dataverse. You should always check for administration settings as your first step when looking to administer Microsoft Dataverse. Settings are grouped into the following broad categories and are accessible by selecting the link on the left-hand side of the portal. Starting with Environments, this section lists all instances of Microsoft Dataverse. Data policies. This section lets you set up policies to restrict which data connectors can be used with Microsoft Dataverse to limit what data can flow into or out of Microsoft Dataverse tables. And data integration. This section lets you create or add predefined connections and monitor these connections between Microsoft Dataverse and other data stores like Salesforce or SQL Server. In the Admin Center, administrators can perform various administrative tasks such as manage environments, create, delete, or manage environments and view environment details and settings. Manage security, manage permissions for environment roles and data loss prevention policies. Manage data, manage Dataverse databases, configure data policies, and view data integrations. Manage analytics, view usage metrics, monitor data flows, and configure telemetry settings. Manage connectors, configure and manage connectors, and view connector usage and analytics. Manage gateways, configure and manage gateways, and view gateway usage and analytics. Manage custom connectors, create, manage, and deploy custom connectors. Manage flows, manage and view all flows in the environment. Manage apps, manage and view all apps in the environment. And manage AI Builder, manage and configure AI Builder models and data. Administrators can access the Power Platform Admin Center by signing into admin.powerplatform.microsoft.com with their Microsoft 365 or Power Platform credentials. The Microsoft 365 Admin Center is a web-based portal that allows administrators to manage and monitor their Microsoft 365 tenant, including users, groups, licenses, settings, and security. Here are some examples of specific administrative tasks that can be performed in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. 1. User management. Admins can add, delete, and modify user accounts, reset passwords, and manage user roles and permissions. 2. Group management. Admins can create and manage groups, assign group owners, and control group settings. 3. License management. Admins can purchase, assign, and manage licenses for Microsoft 365 apps and services. 4. Security management. Admins can set up and manage security features such as multi-factor authentication, conditional access, and device management. 5. Settings management. Admins can customize various settings such as email settings, SharePoint settings, and Teams settings to meet the needs of their organization. 6. Compliance management. Admins can manage compliance features such as data loss prevention, retention policies, and e-discovery. 7. Billing and subscriptions. Admins can manage billing information and payment methods, view usage reports, and purchase new subscriptions. To access the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, go to admin.microsoft.com in your web browser, enter your work or school account credentials, and then you will be taken to the dashboard where you can perform various administrative tasks. Overall, the Microsoft 365 Admin Center provides a central location for administrators to manage and configure various Microsoft 365 services for their organization. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be going through an overview of the Dataverse. Microsoft Dataverse, formerly known as Common Data Service, is a cloud-based solution that easily structures various types of data and business logic to support interconnected applications and processes in a secure and compliant manner. It is a part of the Power Platform suite of tools provided by Microsoft and is tightly integrated with other Power Platform products such as Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power BI. Dataverse allows users to store and manage data in a secure and scalable way with a flexible data model that can be customized to meet specific business needs. It provides a set of tools for creating, configuring, and managing data entities, fields, and relationships, and allows users to define complex business logic using no-code, low-code approaches such as formulas and workflows. Dataverse supports data integration with a wide range of external data sources, including other cloud-based applications, on-premises databases, and various third-party services. It also provides advanced features such as data validation, auditing, and version control, and can be used to build a variety of business applications such as CRM, HR management, and financial reporting, among others. Here is an image that describes what's in the box of Microsoft Dataverse, breaking it down into categories such as security, logic, data, storage, integration, and so on. Security. Dataverse handles authentication with Azure Active Directory to allow for conditional access and multi-factor authentication. It supports authorization down to the row and column level and provides rich auditing capabilities. Logic. Dataverse allows you to easily apply business logic at the data level. Regardless of how a user is interacting with the data, the same rules apply. These rules could be related to duplicate detection, business rules, workflows, or more. Data. Dataverse offers you the control to shape your data, allowing you to discover, model, validate, and report on your data. This control ensures your data looks the way you want regardless of how it is used. Storage. Dataverse stores your physical data in the Azure cloud. This cloud-based storage removes the burden of worrying about where your data lives or how it scales. These concerns are all handled for you. Integration. Dataverse connects in different ways to support your business needs. APIs, webhooks, eventing, and data exports give you flexibility to get data in and out. A Dataverse database is a single instance of Microsoft Dataverse which stores data in a set of standard and custom data structures called tables. A table is a logical set of rows that is used to store data. Rows within a table contain many columns to manage individual pieces of information about a single row. You can create one or many database instances in Microsoft Dataverse to host data behind your business solutions. Each instance of a Microsoft Dataverse will start with the same set of tables to store data, but you can always extend and customize a Microsoft Dataverse database to meet specific business needs. Scalability. A Dataverse database supports large data sets and complex data models. Tables can hold millions of items, and you can extend the storage in each instance of a Microsoft Dataverse database to 4 terabytes per instance. The amount of data that is available in your instance of Microsoft Dataverse is based upon the number and type of licenses that are associated with it. Data storage is pooled between all license users, so you can allocate storage as needed for each solution that you build. Overall, Microsoft Dataverse is a powerful and flexible platform for managing and processing data with a wide range of applications across different industries and business domains. So, a common question asked is, what is the difference between traditional databases versus Microsoft Dataverse? Well, traditional databases and Microsoft Dataverse have several differences in terms of their architecture, functionality, and usage. Here are some key differences. 1. Architecture. Traditional databases are typically relational databases that store data in tables with defined relationships between them. Dataverse, on the other hand, is a no-code, low-code platform that uses a data model to store data in an entity attribute value format. 2. Scalability. Traditional databases can be scaled up or down based on demand, but this usually requires a dedicated team of database administrators to manage the hardware and software. In contrast, Dataverse is a cloud-based platform that automatically scales to meet changing demands without requiring any manual intervention. 3. Integration. Traditional databases require custom integration code to connect with other systems, whereas Dataverse integrates seamlessly with other Microsoft products and services such as Power Apps, Power Automate, and Dynamics 365. 4. Customization. Traditional databases can be customized using SQL queries and programming languages such as Java or Python, while Dataverse provides a graphical interface that allows users to create custom entities, fields, and relationships without writing any code. 5. Security. Traditional databases typically require extensive configuration to secure data at various levels, such as at the network, server, and database levels. In contrast, Dataverse has built-in security features that provide granular access control to data at the entity and field levels. In summary, while traditional databases are suitable for large-scale, mission-critical applications that require extensive customization and management, Dataverse is designed for no-code, low-code applications that require quick and easy development, integration, and management of data. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from ExamPro, and we'll be covering tables and columns in Dataverse. A table is a logical structure containing rows and columns that represents a set of data. Here is a screenshot of the standard contact table and various types of columns it includes. Types of tables. The 3 types of tables are: standard tables, also known as out-of-the-box tables, come pre-installed in a Dataverse environment. These include tables such as account, business unit, contact, task, and user. Most of these standard tables can be customized to suit specific needs. Additionally, tables that are part of a managed solution and marked as customizable will also appear as standard tables. Users with the necessary permissions can modify these tables if the customizable property is set to true. Managed tables are those that cannot be customized and are imported into the environment as part of a managed solution. Custom tables, meanwhile, are unmanaged tables that are either imported from an unmanaged solution or are created directly within the Dataverse environment. These tables can be fully customized by users with the appropriate privileges. Columns serve as a means of storing a specific piece of information within a table row, much like an Excel column. Columns have data types, meaning that you can store data of a certain type in a column that matches that data type. For example, dates are stored in columns with the date data type, while numbers are stored in columns with the number data type. The number of columns in a table can vary significantly, ranging from a few to several hundred. However, having too many columns could indicate a need to reevaluate how data storage is structured for the solution. In Microsoft Dataverse, a standard set of tables is provided by default, and each of these tables has a predetermined set of columns. The next topic we'll be covering are relationships in Dataverse. In Microsoft Dataverse, relationships define the way that different tables in the system are connected or linked together based on shared data. A relationship specifies how data in one table is related to data in another table. Relationships are defined by creating a field in the primary table that is used to store a reference to the related table. This field is called a foreign key, and it contains a value that matches the primary key of a record in the related table. When data is entered or updated in the system, the relationships ensure that related data is updated consistently across the tables, which helps to maintain the integrity of the data within the system. Relationships are an essential aspect of building complex data models in Dataverse that can support a variety of business scenarios. They allow users to connect and organize data in meaningful ways, which can help to improve efficiency, accuracy, and insight into business operations. There are three types of relationships in Dataverse. One-to-many. This is the most common relationship type in which one record in the primary table is associated with many records in the related table. For example, a customer could have multiple orders in the system. 2. Many-to-one. In this relationship type, many records in the primary table are associated with a single record in the related table. For example, many orders could be associated with a single customer. 3. Many-to-many. This relationship type involves many records in both the primary and related tables being associated with many records in the other table. For example, a customer could have multiple orders, and an order could involve multiple products. Moving on to the next component of the Dataverse are environments. Environments are used to store, manage, and share your organization's business data, apps, and flows in Microsoft Power Platform. For each environment created, one Microsoft Dataverse database is provisioned for use solely within that environment. These environments also provide the ability to manage user access, security settings, and associated storage for the database. An environment is created within a specific Microsoft Azure Active Directory tenant, and its resources can only be accessed by users within that tenant. In addition, each environment is bound to a geographic location, such as the United States. Upon creating a Microsoft Dataverse database within an environment, the database is created within the data centers located in the environment's geographic location. Furthermore, any items generated within the environment, including connections, gateways, Power Automate workflows, and others, are also bound to the environment's location. By establishing multiple environments, you can efficiently manage solution development and data storage. For instance, you may set up distinct environments for development, testing, and production use. Additionally, environments can be created based on specific geographic locations. For example, an environment for Europe and another for Asia may be established. Each of these environments is associated with 0 or only one instance of Microsoft Dataverse. The next topic we'll be covering are business rules. Microsoft Dataverse provides a feature to define business rules, which allow you to apply and maintain business logic at the data layer rather than the app layer. This means that the business rules you create in Dataverse are effective regardless of where you interact with the data. Business rules provide a powerful way to enforce rules, validate data, or set values regardless of the form used for data input. They can increase data accuracy, simplify application development, and streamline forms for users. Both Canvas and model-driven apps can use business rules with actions such as set column values, clear column values, validate data and show error messages. Model-driven apps can also use business rules to show or hide columns, enable or disable columns, create business recommendations based on business intelligence, Here is an example of a simple yet powerful use of business rules. The rule is set up to make the credit limit VP approver field mandatory when the credit limit exceeds $1 million. Conversely, the field is optional when the credit limit is below $1 million. By applying this business rule at the data level instead of the app level, you have better control of your data. This can ensure your business logic is followed whether it is being accessed directly from Power Apps, Power Automate, or via an API. The rule is tied to the data, not the app. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and the next topic we'll be covering are Dataflows in Dataverse. Dataflows in Microsoft Dataverse are a way to extract, transform, and load data from various sources into Dataverse tables. With Dataflows, you can automate the process of importing data from different sources and transform it into a consistent format. This allows you to streamline the data integration process, reduce data entry errors, and improve data accuracy. Dataflows are created using Power Query, which is a data transformation and cleansing engine that enables you to transform data from a variety of sources, such as Excel, SharePoint, SQL Server, and many others. You can use Power Query to perform operations such as filtering, sorting, grouping, and aggregating data, and then load the transformed data into Dataverse tables. Dataflows also support incremental refresh, which means that only the changed data is loaded into the Dataverse table. This helps to optimize data loading performance and reduces the amount of data that needs to be processed during the ETL process. Once the data flow is created and scheduled, it runs on a regular basis, such as daily or weekly, depending on your needs. The transformed data is loaded into the specified Dataverse table, and you can then use it to power your apps, reports, and dashboards. The next topic we'll be covering are data connectors. Microsoft Power Platform is a system that enables users to create comprehensive business solutions by analyzing data through Power BI, building solutions using Power Apps, and automating business processes through Power Automate. Data connectors allow Microsoft Power Platform to leverage data from different sources. Connectors act as an interface to connect to APIs, enabling the underlying services to communicate with Microsoft Power Platform. Popular connectors include Salesforce, Office 365, Twitter, Dropbox, SharePoint, and SQL Server. Microsoft Power Platform employs connectors to efficiently utilize data from multiple platforms. Connectors act as a link between your data source and your app or workflow, allowing data to be exchanged between them. By utilizing connectors, you can expand your business solutions to various platforms and incorporate additional features for your users. Connectors allow apps to connect to apps, data, and devices in the cloud. There are two types of data sources, tabular and function-based. Tabular data sources return data in a structured table format. Examples of tabular data sources include Microsoft Dataverse, SharePoint, and SQL Server. Function-based data sources use functions to interact with data sources. Examples of function-based data sources include Office 365 users, Azure Blob Storage, and Project Online. Both types of data sources are commonly used to bring data across many platforms and add functionality to your solution. By connecting to these data sources, Power Platform allows users to create powerful apps, automate processes, and analyze data from various systems and applications in one centralized location. Now that you have gained some knowledge about data sources, you are ready to learn about connectors. Connectors act as a link between your data source and app, workflow, or dashboard. Microsoft Power Platform has over 600 connectors for various data sources that are categorized as standard and premium. Standard connectors are free and available to all users of Power Platform. These connectors are developed and maintained by Microsoft, and they allow users to connect to a variety of commonly used services and platforms. Some popular standard connectors are SharePoint, Outlook, and YouTube. Premium connectors require additional licensing for your app or users. Premium connectors are created and maintained by third-party vendors and offer more advanced capabilities. They may have better performance, more robust security features, or provide additional functionality. A few premium connectors are SQL Server, SurveyMonkey, and MailChimp. Connectors facilitate the exchange of data between the data source and Power Platform, which can speed up the implementation of Microsoft Power Platform business solutions. One example of this is using Dynamics 365 apps, such as customer service, where you can create a notification for users through Power Automate when certain customer types are added. You can use a SharePoint document library to store files that are then used in Power Apps for management and distribution. Microsoft also offers connectors to their Azure services, which utilize advanced AI techniques to perform tasks like extracting text from images or recognizing faces in images. Additionally, all Microsoft Power Platform business solutions can be utilized in Microsoft 365 apps such as Teams, enabling users to run Power Automate from within Teams. Although Microsoft Power Platform provides over 600 connectors, users can choose to create a custom connector to expand their app's functionality by accessing either a publicly available API or a custom API they are hosting in a cloud provider like Azure. API stands for Application Programming Interface, and it provides a set of functions that developers can use. Connectors work by exchanging data between APIs and assembling functions into Power Apps or Power Automate. Since these connectors are based on functions, they will call specific functions in the underlying service of the API to return the corresponding data. Building custom connectors offers the benefit of cross-platform compatibility, meaning they can be utilized in various platforms like Power Apps, Power Automate, and Azure Logic Apps. Creating custom connectors. You can create custom connectors using 3 different approaches. Using a blank custom connector, from an open API definition, and from a Postman collection. Custom connectors in Power Platform can be used in various use cases, including while integrating with non-standard data sources. Custom connectors can be built to integrate with non-standard data sources that don't have pre-built connectors available. This allows businesses to bring data from these sources into the Power Platform for use in apps and workflows. 2. Customizing existing connectors. Custom connectors can also be built to add functionality to existing connectors, such as adding custom authentication or providing additional data transformation options. 3. Automating business processes. Custom connectors can be used to automate complex business processes that involve multiple systems and data sources. This can help streamline workflows and improve efficiency. 4. Building apps for external users. Custom connectors can be used to build apps for external users, such as customers or partners, that require access to data from proprietary systems or databases. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from ExamPro, and the next topic we'll be covering are triggers and actions. Triggers and actions are 2 fundamental components of the Power Platform. Once you have established a data source and configured your connector, there are 2 types of operations you can use: triggers or actions. Triggers initiate workflows when certain conditions are met. For example, a trigger can be set up to automatically start a workflow when a new item is added to a SharePoint list or when a new email arrives in a specific mailbox. Triggers can be set up in Power Automate, formerly known as Microsoft Flow, and Power Apps. Actions are prompted by the user or a trigger and allow interaction with your data source through a specific function. Actions are used in Power Automate and Power Apps. Actions can be anything from sending an email or creating a new record in a database to posting a message in a chat application. In Power Automate and Power Apps, users can create custom actions by building flows, which are workflows that automate repetitive tasks. Together, triggers and actions allow users to create custom workflows that automate processes and improve productivity. By connecting various services and applications, users can streamline workflows, reduce errors, and save time. Power Platform provides a wide range of connectors and templates that can be used to create these workflows, and users can also create custom connectors and actions to suit their specific needs. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from ExamPro, and in this section, we'll be going into greater detail of what Power BI is and its main components. Let's begin with a brief overview. Microsoft Power BI is a collection of software services, applications, and connectors that work together to transform your diverse data sources into coherent, engaging visuals and interactive insights. Power BI enables you to connect to your data sources, clean, and model your data without affecting the underlying source, visualize, and share what's important with anyone you choose. Your data could be a simple Microsoft Excel workbook, a collection of cloud-based and on-premises hybrid data warehouses, and many more. As you can see from the image, you can use many data sources such as Excel, cloud databases, Microsoft Edge, Microsoft Access, SQL databases, and many more. You can use them with Power BI and generate all kinds of visualizations, reports, dashboards, etc. that will help you find business insights within your organization's data. The next topic we'll be discussing about are the parts of Power BI. So Power BI is made up of several components that all function together, starting with these three fundamentals. First, we have a Windows desktop application called Power BI Desktop. Secondly, we have an online SaaS service called the Power BI Service. And lastly, we have Power BI mobile apps for Windows, iOS, and Android devices. Power BI Desktop, Power BI Service, and Power BI mobile apps are designed to let you create, share, and consume business insights in the way that serves you and your role most effectively. Now, let's go over the Power BI concepts. Datasets, reports, and dashboards are the three main components of Power BI. They are all organized into workspaces, and they are created on capacities. So, what are capacities? Capacities are a core Power BI concept that refer to a set of resources utilized to host and deliver your Power BI work. Capacities are either shared or dedicated. A shared capacity is shared with other Microsoft customers, while a dedicated capacity is fully committed to a single customer. Dedicated capacities require a subscription. By default, workspaces are created on a shared capacity. So that's all for the main components of Power BI. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be going over what workspaces in Power BI are. So workspaces are containers for dashboards, reports, datasets, and data flows in Power BI. There are two types of workspaces. First, we have My Workspace, and then we have Workspaces. So My Workspace is the personal workspace for any Power BI customer to work with your own content. Only you have access to your My Workspace. You can share dashboards and reports from your My Workspace. If you want to collaborate on dashboards and reports or create an app, then you want to work in a workspace. Workspaces are used to collaborate and share content with colleagues. You can add colleagues to your workspaces and collaborate on dashboards, reports, and datasets. Keep in mind that all workspace members need Power BI Pro licenses. Workspaces are also the places where you create, publish, and manage apps for your organization. Workspaces can be thought of as staging areas and containers for the content that will make up a Power BI app. An app is a collection of dashboards and reports created to provide important metrics to the Power BI consumers in your company. Apps are interactive, but consumers cannot edit them. App consumers and the colleagues who have access to the apps do not necessarily need Pro licenses. So that's a general overview of workspaces in Power BI. The next topic we'll be covering are datasets in Power BI. So a dataset is a collection of data that you import or connect to. Power BI enables you to connect to, import, and combine many datasets in one location. Datasets can source data from Dataflows. Datasets are associated with workspaces, and a single dataset can be part of many workspaces. When you open a workspace, the associated datasets are listed under the Datasets tab. Each listed dataset represents a collection of data. For example, a dataset can contain data from an Excel workbook on OneDrive, an on-premises SSAS tabular dataset, and/or a Salesforce dataset. There are many different data sources supported. Datasets added by one workspace member are available to the other workspace members with an admin, member, or contributor role. So, what are shared datasets? A shared dataset is a dataset shared between multiple reports. It's important to establish standardized datasets that serve as the one source of truth. Discovering and reusing those standardized datasets is also key. Report creators can use optimized datasets created and shared by expert data modelers in your organization as a starting point when building reliable reports. Your organization can have consistent data for making decisions and a healthy data culture. To consume these shared datasets, just choose Power BI datasets when creating your Power BI report. Moving on to dataset types. So, Power BI datasets represent a source of data ready for reporting and visualization. There are 5 different dataset types, and they can be created in the following ways. First, by connecting to an existing data model that isn't hosted in a Power BI capacity. Second, by uploading a Power BI desktop file that contains a model. Then by uploading an Excel workbook containing one or more Excel tables in a workbook data model, or uploading a CSV, also known as a comma-separated values file. You can also use the Power BI service to create a push dataset. And finally, we use the Power BI service to create a streaming or hybrid streaming dataset. An exception for this would be for streaming datasets. The dataset represents a data model which leverages the mature modeling technologies of analysis services. So that's the different kinds of datasets for Power BI. So the next component we'll be discussing are reports. A Power BI report is one or more pages of visualizations such as line charts, maps, and tree maps. Visualizations are also called visuals. Power BI allows you to create reports from scratch, import them with dashboards shared by coworkers, or have it create reports when you connect to datasets like Excel, Power BI Desktop, databases, and SaaS apps. For example, Power BI generates a report using the Power View sheets in an Excel worksheet when you connect to it. Additionally, Power BI imports a pre-built report when you connect to a SaaS application. So there are two modes to view and interact with reports. There is reading view and there is editing view. When you open a report, it opens in reading view. If you have the edit permissions, then you see edit report in the upper left corner and you can view the report in editing view. Anyone with an admin, member, or contributor role can edit a report if it is in a workspace. They have access to all the exploring, designing, building, and sharing capabilities of editing view for that report. The people they share the report with can explore and interact with the report in reading view. When you open a workspace, the associated reports are listed under the Reports tab. Each listed report represents one or more pages of visualizations based on only one of the underlying datasets. To open a report, select it. You are presented with a dashboard when you first launch an app. Select a dashboard tile that was pinned from a report to see the underlying report. You might need to click a few tiles before seeing a report because not all tiles are pinned from reports. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be going into detail on what is a dashboard in Power BI. So, a dashboard is something you create in the Power BI service or something a colleague creates in the Power BI service and shares with you. It is a single canvas that contains 0 or more tiles and widgets. Each tile pinned from a report or from question and answer displays a single visualization that was created from a dataset and pinned to the dashboard. Entire report pages can also be pinned to a dashboard as a single tile. The visualizations you see on the dashboard are called tiles. You pin tiles to a dashboard from reports, and each report is based on a dataset. A dashboard is an introduction to the underlying reports and datasets. Selecting a visualization takes you to the report and dataset that it's based on. You can pin many kinds of tiles to dashboards. You can pin a tile from a report, pin a tile from another dashboard, pin a tile from Excel. You can create a tile in question and answer and pin it. You can pin an entire report page. And you can also add images, videos, and more to a dashboard. Let's take a look at some of the advantages of dashboards. First, you can see in one glance all the information needed to make decisions. You can monitor the most important information about your business. You can ensure all colleagues are on the same page, viewing and using the same information, to monitor the health of a business or product or business unit or marketing campaign, etc. And you can create a personalized view of a larger dashboard and show all the metrics that matter to them. So that's a general overview of dashboards in Power BI. Sometimes users can get confused between a report and a dashboard, so we'll go over the main differences between the two because there will definitely be some questions on it in the exam. For the pages capability, dashboards can only have one page, whereas reports can have one or more pages. For data sources, dashboards can have one or more reports and one or more datasets per dashboard. Reports can only have a single dataset per report. For drilling down in visuals, this can be done for dashboards only if you pin an entire report page to a dashboard. On the other hand, drilling down in visuals is available for reports. Dashboards are not available in Power BI Desktop. Reports are available in Power BI Desktop. You can build and view reports in Power BI Desktop. You can't filter or slice a dashboard. You can filter a dashboard tile in focus mode but can't save the filter. However, filtering is available for reports. There are many different ways to filter, highlight, and slice. For favorites, you can set multiple dashboards and multiple reports as favorites. For natural language queries, this is available for both dashboards and reports, but you'll need edit permissions for the report and underlying dataset. For set alerts, this is available for dashboard tiles in certain circumstances, but this is not available for reports. For the subscribe capability, you can subscribe to dashboard and a report. So these are the main capabilities you'll be using for dashboards and reports. There are a few more, but the list is simply too large to fit. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be going through template apps for Power BI. So, Power BI partners can create Power BI templates with little to no coding and deploy them to any Power BI customer using the new Power BI template apps. You can create a set of out-of-the-box content for your customers and publish it yourself as a Power BI partner. You can build template apps that allow your customers to connect within their own accounts. As domain experts, they can unlock the data in a way that is easy for their business users to consume. Template apps are submitted to the Partner Center to become publicly available in the Power BI Apps Marketplace and on Microsoft AppSource. Power BI template apps allow Power BI Pro or Power BI Premium users to gain immediate insights through prepackaged dashboards and reports that can be connected to live data sources. Many Power BI apps are already available in the Power BI Apps Marketplace, such as the COVID-19 US Tracking Report, Google Analytics Report, and the Microsoft 365 Usage Analytics. The next topic we'll be covering is data modeling and visualizations. Power BI Desktop is a free application installed on your local computer that allows you to connect to, transform, and visualize your data. You can connect to multiple different sources of data and combine them, which is often called modeling, into a data model with Power BI Desktop. You can create visuals and collection of visuals using this data model, which you can then share as reports with others. Most users who work on business intelligence projects create their reports using Power BI Desktop, then share them with others using the Power BI service. In Power BI Desktop, you will begin to create reports in the report view. There are 5 main areas you will be working with. First, we have the ribbon. This displays the common tasks that are related with reports and visualizations. Next, we have the report view or canvas. This is where visualizations are created and arranged. The data view allows you to view all your data available in your report. It is an easy way to quickly check data types and validate data. The model view allows you to visually set the relationship between tables or elements. A relationship is where 2 or more tables are linked together because they contain related data. This enables users to run queries for related data across multiple tables. The third area we have is the Pages tab. This area is where you would select or add a report page located along the bottom of the page. Next, we have the Visualizations pane. This is where you can change visualizations, customize colors or axes, apply filters, drag fields, and more. And finally, we have the Fields pane. This is where query elements and filters can be dragged onto the report view or dragged to the Filters area of the Visualizations pane. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and the next topic we'll be covering is the types of visualization in Power BI. So, starting off with bar and column charts. Bar charts are the industry standard for viewing specific value across different categories. Here we have a visual example of a bar chart displaying counts of visits by building. And here we have the chart in a column chart format. So, let's look at some more types of visualizations in Power BI. First, we have cards. These can be viewed in single or multi-row. Next, we have KPIs. These display progress toward a measurable goal. Next, we have maps, basic maps. These are used to associate both categorical and quantitative information with spatial locations. Then we have pie charts, and pie charts show the relationship of parts to a whole. Another type of visualization is the question and answer visual. This lets you ask questions about your data using natural language. Finally, we have tables. Tables work well with quantitative comparisons among items where there are many categories. These are some of the out-of-the-box or pre-built Power BI visuals available from the Visualization pane in Power BI Desktop and Power BI Service. However, there are some instances where you need a more custom visual, and these can be found in AppSource for Power BI. As mentioned in the previous video, there are some instances where users will need a more custom visual, and these can be found in AppSource for Power BI. So, Power BI visuals are provided to the public by Microsoft and members of the community, who then publish them to the AppSource to make them available for use. These visuals can be downloaded and added to your Power BI reports. Microsoft has tested and approved these Power BI visuals for functionality and quality. Power BI certified visuals are visuals in the AppSource that were additionally tested to check that the visual does not access external services or resources. After importing Power BI visualizations from AppSource, updates may happen automatically without further notification. So, what is AppSource? AppSource is the place for apps, add-ins, and extensions for your Microsoft software. AppSource connects millions of users of products such as Microsoft 365, Azure, Dynamics 365, Cortana, and Power BI to solutions that help them get work done more efficiently and insightfully than before. Next, we have certified Power BI visuals. Certified Power BI visuals are visuals in AppSource that meet certain specified code requirements that the Microsoft Power BI team has tested and approved. The tests are designed to check that the visual doesn't access external services or resources. So that's a general overview of custom visuals. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be going over filtering data with Power BI and a simple type of filtering called a slicer. So data is the core of Power BI. As you explore reports, each visual draws its underlying data from sources that often contain far more data than you need. Filtering is a technique used to focus on a subset of data in the chart, making it easier to analyze and identify patterns or trends. Power BI offers several ways to filter and highlight reports. Knowing how to filter data is the key to finding the right information. When you filter a visual like a bar chart, you are just changing the view of the data in that visual. You are not modifying the source data in any way. Remember to keep in mind that filtering only applies to reports, not to dashboards. A simple type of filtering that you can use directly on the report page is called a slicer. Slicers provide cues to ways you can filter the results in the visuals on a report page. There are several different types of slicers, such as numeric, categorical, and date. Slicers make it easy to filter all the visuals on the page at once. So when should you use a slicer? Well, slicers are a great choice when you want to display commonly used or important filters on the report canvas for easier access, make it easier to see the current filtered state without having to open a drop-down list, filter by columns that are unneeded and hidden in the data tables. And when you want to create more focused reports by putting slicers next to important visuals. Also, note that Power BI slicers don't support input fields and drill-down options. Explore the filters pane. Another way to filter data is by opening and modifying filters in the filters pane. The filters pane contains filters that were added to the report by the report designer. As a consumer, you can interact with the filters and save your changes, but cannot add new filters. There are 4 types of filters. First, we have report. This applies to all pages in the report. Then we have page. This applies to all the visuals on the current report page. Next, we have visual. This applies to a single visual on a report page. You only see visual level filters if you have selected a visual on the report canvas. And the last type of filter is drill through. This allows you to explore successively more detailed views within a single visual. Moving on to our next topic, buttons in Power BI. So using buttons in Power BI lets you create reports that behave like apps and thereby create an engaging environment so users can hover, click, and further interact with Power BI material. You can add buttons to reports in Power BI Desktop and in the Power BI service. When you share your reports in the Power BI service, they provide an app-like experience for your users. To create a button in Power BI Desktop, on the Insert ribbon, select Buttons and a drop-down menu appears where you can select the button you want from a collection of options, as shown in the image. Here are some key features and characteristics of buttons in Power BI. Appearance. Buttons in Power BI can be customized with various shapes, sizes, colors, and text to fit the report design. Action. Buttons can be configured to perform a variety of actions, including filtering data, navigating to a different page or report, opening a URL or file, or running a custom script. Interaction. Buttons can be clicked by users to trigger the configured action and can be used to create a more interactive and engaging report experience. Selection. Buttons can be used as a selection tool to filter or highlight specific data by configuring them with a slicer or other interactive element. Integration. Buttons can be integrated with other Power BI features and components such as bookmarks, drill-through actions, and visual interactions to create a more dynamic and customized report experience. So that's a general overview of buttons in Power BI. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and the next topic we'll be covering is Power Query Editor. So sometimes your data might contain extra data or have data in the wrong format. You may need additional columns or to rename or hide existing columns. You may have multiple data sources and need to define a relationship between them. All these tasks are known as data transformation. Power BI Desktop includes the Power Query Editor tool, which can help you shape and transform data so that it's ready for your models and visualizations. Power Query Editor is a data transformation and preparation tool that allows users to connect to and transform data from a variety of sources like Excel spreadsheets, text files, databases, and web services. With Power Query Editor, users can extract, transform, and load data from these sources into Power BI for analysis and visualization. It provides a user-friendly interface for data manipulation, allowing users to filter, sort, group, pivot, and aggregate data using a series of intuitive and easy-to-use menus and tools. It also supports merging, splitting, and unpivoting tables, custom calculations, and transformations. A key feature of Power Query Editor is its ability to create reusable data queries, which can be saved and shared with other users or used to automate data refreshes. This can save significant time and effort for users who need to regularly transform and update large datasets. Launch Power Query Editor. To begin, select Edit from the Navigator window to launch Power Query Editor. You can also launch Power Query Editor directly from Power BI Desktop by using the Transform Data button on the Home ribbon. In the ribbon, the active buttons enable you to interact with the data in the query. On the left pane, queries are listed and available for selecting, viewing, and shaping. On the center pane, data from the selected query is displayed and available for shaping. The Query Settings window lists the query's properties and applied steps. So this is the general layout of the Power Query Editor. So the next topic we'll be covering is an aggregate. At times, there may be a need to perform mathematical calculations on the values within your data. The mathematical operation could be sum, average, maximum, count, and so on. This process of merging values in your data using mathematical operations is referred to as aggregation. The outcome of the calculation is known as an aggregate. When Power BI Service and Power BI Desktop create visualizations, they may aggregate your data. In some cases, the resulting aggregate may be appropriate, but at other times, you may want to apply a different type of aggregation to the data, such as calculating the sum or average of values. There are several different ways to manage and change the aggregate Power BI uses in a visualization. Typically, datasets consist of multiple types of data, and at the simplest level, the data can be classified as either numeric or non-numeric. Power BI can aggregate numeric data using a sum, average, count, minimum, variance, and much more. Additionally, Power BI can even aggregate non-numeric data, which is often referred to as categorical data. If you try to aggregate a categorical field by placing it in a numeric-only bucket like values or tooltips, Power BI will count the occurrences of each category or count the distinct occurrences of each category. Special types of data, like dates, have a few of their own aggregate options: earliest, latest, first, and last. For example, according to the image provided, units sold and manufacturing price are columns that contain numeric data. Segment, country, region, product, month, and month name contain categorical data. Here, we'll look at some of the ways to aggregate your data. Some of the options that may be available for aggregating a field. Do not summarize. With this option chosen, Power BI treats each value in that field separately and doesn't summarize them. Sub, this adds all the values in that field up. Average, this takes an arithmetic mean of the values. Minimum, this shows the smallest value. Maximum, this shows the largest value. Count, not blanks, this counts the number of values in that field that are blank. Count, distinct, this counts the number of different values in that field. Standard deviation, variance, and median, this shows the median value. This value has the same number of items above and below. If there are two medians, Power BI averages them. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be covering the Power BI security and administration. Power BI, like many other Microsoft services, utilizes Azure as its foundation. Azure is the cloud computing infrastructure and platform developed by Microsoft that guarantees the same level of security for Power BI as other Microsoft services. When users sign into Power BI, they use their credentials saved in Azure Active Directory, which permits them to control the level of sharing for each report, data, or dashboard. They can determine whether recipients are permitted to edit or just view the items. It's important to note that users are responsible for the data they share. If a user connects to data sources using their credentials, they can share a report or dashboard or dataset based on that data. Users with whom the dashboard is shared are authenticated against the original data source and will be granted access to the report. This is beneficial to allow users to share reports and dashboards they have created, but does require responsibility on the user's part. Power BI administration is the management of a Power BI tenant, including the configuration of governance policies, usage monitoring, and provisioning of licenses, capacities, and organizational resources. Power BI is designed for self-service business intelligence. The administrator is the guardian of data, processes, and policies in the Power BI tenant. A Power BI administrator is a key member of a team that includes BI developers, analysts, and other roles. The administrator can help support an organization to make sure that critical goals are met. So that's a general overview of the Power BI security and administration. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be starting off by creating a Microsoft account. So the first thing you want to do is to go to this link here called power.bi.microsoft.com/en-us, and this will take you to this page here. You can do this with other Power Platform services like Power Apps or Power Automate, but since we'll be starting with Power BI, we'll be using this link. And if you don't already have a Microsoft account, you'd want to navigate to this button here and click on the Try Free button. So this is the page where you would create your Microsoft account and enter in your email you want to register with and all the other information required. Let's go with this one, andrewbrownexampro@gmail.com. So for this method of registration, you will need a work email, so you can't use a commercial email account such as Hotmail and Gmail. However, there is another method to sign up. This will require you to navigate to this page, microsoft.com/en/microsoft-365/enterprise-compare-office-365-plans. This page provides you with a few Office 365 and Microsoft 365 apps plans, such as Microsoft 365 apps for Enterprise, Office 365 E1, Office 365 E3, and Office 365 E5. There is an option to try for free, and this will allow you to access and use all the apps on this list. Depending on the plan, they may provide partial use of the app, or some of the lower cost plans may not include some features. The key apps that we're interested in are Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, and Power BI. We'll be going with the Office 365 E5 plan because it includes Power BI Pro. So let's click on the Try for Free button. Here, we'll enter in our email address, andrewbrownexampro@gmail.com. The list here shows all the apps and services you'll be getting in the Office 365 E5 trial plan. And remember that you have a 1-month free trial, so you have to cancel the trial before that date to avoid any fees. So click on Next, then click on Set Up Account. Now, we'll need to provide information such as our first name, surname, business phone number, company name, company size, and the country we reside in. Once we're done that, we have to accept the terms of service. Looks like we have to provide a verification code. Let's enter that code in and verify to proceed. Next, we have to create a domain name. We'll try to keep it simple, so let's go with Exam Pro. Looks like Exam Pro is already taken, so let's try to add a 1. It's available, so we can use this. After that's complete, we can create a password and confirm the password. Then press Next. Next, we'll have to add a payment method, so you'll need to enter in your card information here and everything else that is required. Once again, you'll have to remember to cancel before the 1-month period to avoid any charges on your card. After that's complete, we'll have to review all the information that we entered in and confirm to start the trial. It'll just take a bit to add the products to our account, but once that's complete, we can start using the Office 365 E5 trial, so click on that. Remember to use your domain email that we just created to sign in. So in this case, it's Andrew Brown at exampro1.onmicrosoft.com. Enter in your password and click on Sign In. If you want to install Microsoft 365 on your computer, you can click on here. I already have it on my system, so I can skip this step. For the domain, we can use the default exampro1.onmicrosoft.com for now. We won't need to add any users or assign licenses for now. We can continue here as well. After that's all done, we can go to the Admin Center. Feel free to look around the settings and features if you want to. But now that we have a Microsoft account, we should be able to log into the Power BI platform. So first, we want to go back to the powerbi.microsoft.com earlier at the beginning. Then we want to click on the Sign In page. We can use our Microsoft account email that we created, so we can just copy that onto here, then click on Submit. This should log us into the Power BI service. Now we have access to the Power BI service and we can play around with it. So that's how you can create a Microsoft account. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be looking at how to build a basic dashboard by using Power BI. So the first thing you want to do is to go to the Power BI page at app.powerbi.com/home. Here, you'll be at the home page for Power BI, which will have recommendations for you to go to, such as your recent workspaces, what you've frequently opened, how to get started, and much more. So on the left side pane, we have a bunch of tabs such as Create, Browse, Data Hub, Metrics, and so on. Before we create our own report and dashboard, let's quickly go through a sample report that Power BI has provided for us. So we'll click on Learning. Under Samples, we'll click on Revenue Opportunities. So now you're seeing a Power BI report with nice visuals and a breakdown of the Revenue Opportunities report. We have the opportunity revenue and opportunity count on the top left. There's the opportunity count by region and pipeline by stage on the bottom left. The revenue and opportunity count by month is located on the top right, and the revenue by region and state is on the bottom right. They are presented with different kinds of visuals like bar graphs, line graphs, map visuals, gradients, and so on. We're also able to interact with the visuals, so if you want to filter out certain regions, metrics, or any component of the graph, you can do that. For example, if I only want to know the opportunity count by region in the east, I can click on the east bar and it'll only show and calculate the values and highlighted areas for the results. On the left side page, if I click on Detail, it will show us the underlying table that has the columns of data used to create the report. So let's go back to the report. And we'll click on the Edit button in the middle. This is where you can edit your entire report. You have many kinds of visualizations available and filters. You can select the data you want in a specific visual and stylize it to your liking. On the right, we have the Visualizations pane. This is where you can build your visual with all kinds of charts like bar chart, column chart, line chart, scatter chart, pie chart, map chart, and many more. So let's take a look at the bottom left chart here. It's currently a stacked bar chart, but we can click on Stacked Column Chart and it'll change to it right away. You can try out other visuals and experiment to see if it fits with the data selected. But let's leave it at the Stacked Column Chart for now. And if we click on the Format Visual button in the middle, we can format the visual of the graph to whatever we want. There are many settings we can change. For example, we can click on Columns, then click on the Colors tab. We can remove the conditional formatting of the gradient and add in a solid color, or we can change the conditional formatting of the color to what we want. We can also change the spacing of the columns to match the size that fits the graph, or however thin or thick you want. You have plenty of other options such as grid lines, data labels, and so on. There are also general properties where you can edit the properties like the height and size of the chart as well as the position. And we can choose to leave the title on or not. There are additional effects you can add or change in the background, visual border, shadow, and much more. On the right side, we have the data pane. This shows all the data available that you can use to create the visuals. So if we were to click on the pipeline by stage graph, we can see that it shows the data that has been used in the visual with the checkboxes. In this case, we've used opportunity count and sales stage. We can select different columns of data and choose the kind of visual that fits it best. For example, I can choose something like product code and revenue, and it'll change the graph using the data that I've selected. We will also need to change the title of the graph, so we'll go to Format Your Visual, then click on General and click on Title. Change the text of the title to something fitting like Product Code by Revenue. So you basically choose what you want to display on your report using the data that you have presented and stylize the visuals to your liking. On the middle top here, we have something called Ask a Question. This is a pretty neat feature where you can ask a question about your data. It will provide you with suggested questions for you to start out, and you can show all suggestions for more results. So we can test this out by clicking on something like Top States by Factored Revenue, and it'll provide us with the top states by factored revenue using the data we provided. You can select other questions to try out, or you can ask your own questions related to the data. The next thing we'll be doing is creating a dashboard. Okay, so let's click on the Save button on the top right. Next, we'll click on Pin to a dashboard. Select New Dashboard, and we'll need to give the dashboard a name, so we can use the same name as before, Revenue Opportunities. Then click on Pin Live. After that, we can click on Go to Dashboard. So this is the dashboard of Revenue Opportunities. Similarly to the report, we can interact with the dashboard visuals and select the key points of data that we want to see. There is also a drop-down menu for the product code to filter out the product codes and more. The dashboard has a built-in question and answer at the top, so you can ask questions about your data similarly to a report. It will provide you with a visual of data that corresponds with the question asked. Going back to the dashboard, we can edit the dashboard by adding a tile or changing the dashboard theme. For example, I can change the dashboard theme from light to dark, making it easier on the eyes. For adding a tile, we can add many sources of media such as web content, images, text boxes, videos, as well as real-time data. We won't need to know this for the exam, but you can play around with the Power BI features as you like. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be covering how to create a basic report and dashboard. If you want to create your own report and dashboard instead of using a sample report, you will need a dataset. If you have your own dataset, then you can upload by going to My Workspace. Here you can upload your data from OneDrive for Business, SharePoint, or you can browse from your own PC. They must be a PBIX, RDL, or XLSX file. I'll upload the sales data economic analysis I downloaded earlier. If you don't have a dataset at hand, you can search for one online. There are plenty of sources on the internet that provide free datasets for you to learn and practice. For example, you can go to Kaggle.com, which is an online platform that offers a variety of resources for data scientists and machine learning practitioners, such as datasets and tools to facilitate collaboration and learning. I found a dataset here called Sales Data for Economic Data Analysis. I cleaned the data up a bit and trimmed some of the data to make things less complicated. You can use whichever dataset you find or want. Another way to upload data is simply copying or manually entering in data. So you can click on Create on the left side, click on Paste, or manually enter data. From your Excel file, Google Sheets, or any source that has a dataset, you can copy and paste the data into the table. If your data has headers in the first row, you want to click on the Use First Row as Headers. You'll also want to rename the table, so we'll rename this to Sales Data Economic. We can choose to auto-create report, create a blank report, or create a dataset only, but we'll choose auto-create report to use as a starting point. Okay, here we are free to play around with the current design we have. First, we need to change this to edit mode, so click on that. Then we need to change some of the data on the graphs to the data that we're interested in, and to ensure that the data makes sense because sometimes the auto-create report uses data like total sum of age, which is something we don't want. So I've chosen the data that I want for my graphs and the types of visuals that look appropriate for them. Now we'll be adjusting the size of the canvas and we'll try to go for a different look. To do this, we'll go to the Format page, then Canvas Settings, and we'll want to select a custom type so we can change the height and width that suits the report. We can enter in something like 1000 pixels height and 1200 pixels width. You can choose what you think is best. After that, we'll be moving around the graphs and visuals to see where we want to place them or if we think it looks suitable. We'll also be adjusting the sizes of the graphs and visuals so it makes sense or looks decent enough. I'll be speeding through this section because it's mostly just adjusting the graphs' positions and making sure they align well with the canvas so you won't be missing out on anything too important. We want to try something a little unique, so we'll be providing it with a dark background. You will need to go to Format page, then click on Canvas Background. Change the color to a dark color and lower the transparency so that it's visible. You can also use an image that you have on your personal computer by clicking Browse. We'll be using a dark blue gradient background we found with a simple Google search. After seeing the white boxes, I've made a few more adjustments to the placements of the graphs. We will need to remove the white boxes from the graphs and text boxes, so we'll need to click on Effects and turn off the background. So we'll have to adjust the font to white so it's easier to read. We'll need to do this for these visual cards, so it's the same process. Click on Category Labels, then change the font color to white. Then on the callout values, also change the font to white. For the graphs, we'll need to turn the background off, so click on General, then click on Effects, then click the toggle to turn the background off. Then you need to click on Visual, then click on the X-axis. Here, you will need to change the value font to white. Then you will need to change the title font to white. You will also need to change the font color to white for the Y-axis. You will need to change the title font to white, so you'll have to click on Data Labels, then click on Values, then change the font to white. You will need to change the title font to white. I realized I forgot to change the transparency to 0, so you'll be able to see the dark blue gradient. So, as you can see, it's starting to look better. We'll continue to change the fonts for the remaining graphs. We will apply the same steps like the sum of revenue by month graph. So, we'll need to change the X-axis and Y-axis fonts to white, and we'll need to change the color of the title and data labels to white, and we need to turn off the background. So, we'll be speeding through this process since we already know how to execute this. The bar colors look a bit plain, so we'll add a gradient effect to make it look more interesting. To do this, we'll click on Format Visual, then click on Bars, then click on the FX button. The default gradient color they provided looks decent, so we'll press OK. We also want to turn off the legend, since it automatically turned on once we applied a gradient. We'll try to apply this to the other graphs as well, so we'll go through the same procedure. Click on Bars, then click on the FX button. We want to keep the orange color to mix it up a bit, so we'll try to find lighter orange for the minimum, then we'll find a darker orange for the maximum. Then click OK. We'll also want to get rid of the legend, since it doesn't look too appealing in my opinion. Same process for the final graph. We'll also give it a gradient. Okay, so this looks fine. It's not perfect, but it's definitely more interesting than the default design that they provided for us. After that, you can save the report, and we can do the same thing as we did in the previous video. Pin to Dashboard and Pin Live. So all in all, you can customize and design the report however you want using all the tools, effects, colors, visuals available in Power BI until you are satisfied with your design. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be covering Power Apps in greater detail. Power Apps is a low-code, no-code platform developed by Microsoft that allows users to build custom business applications for web and mobile devices. It enables users to create custom apps using a drag-and-drop interface and pre-built templates without the need for extensive coding knowledge. With Power Apps, users can create apps that connect to various data sources, including Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, SharePoint, and SQL Server, and integrate with other Microsoft services, such as Power BI and Power Automate. Users can also customize app functionality using formulas and expressions, and deploy apps to web browsers or mobile devices. Power Apps can be used to create a wide range of applications, from simple data entry forms to complex business processes and workflows. It can be used in various industries, including healthcare, finance, and manufacturing, to streamline processes, improve productivity, and enhance customer engagement. When modernizing a paper-based process, there are likely systems in your organization with data you can leverage. Power Apps provides you with options by offering a wide selection of connectors that make it easy to connect to data from a range of online and on-premises sources. This can be done using the Microsoft Dataverse, which serves as both a data service and an app platform, or by connecting to various other data sources. Some common data sources include Dataverse, SharePoint, Dynamics 365, SQL Server and Azure SQL, Office 365. You don't have to choose just one data source. Power Apps easily supports multiple data connections, allowing you to bring data together from many platforms into a single app. The next topic we'll be covering is Power Apps portals. Power Apps Portals is a low-code web portal platform that allows users to create and share custom external-facing websites that integrate with their Power Apps environment. Users can build portals for a wide range of use cases, such as customer self-service, partner portals, and employee portals. Power Apps Portals provides a wide range of functionality, including authentication and access control, data integration, and custom branding. It also includes pre-built templates for common use cases, such as event registration, job applications, and customer service portals. Power Apps Portals can be customized using the same tools and technologies as other Power Apps applications, including the Common Data Service, Canvas apps, and model-driven apps. This allows users to extend their Power Apps environment beyond internal users to external users, such as customers, partners, and vendors. Overall, Power Apps Portals provides a powerful platform for building external-facing web portals that are integrated with the Power Apps ecosystem, making it an ideal solution for organizations that want to improve their customer and partner engagement. Through the Power Apps interface, you can build an anonymous or authenticated website that allows users to interact with data held in Dataverse. The same drag-and-drop experience you enjoy when building apps is available to build these rich, interactive websites. So that's a general overview of Power Apps Portals. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and the next topic we'll cover is AI Builder. AI Builder is a Microsoft Power Platform capability that provides AI models that are designed to optimize your business processes. AI Builder enables your business to use intelligence to automate processes and glean insights from your data in Power Apps and Power Automate. With AI Builder, you can leverage the power of AI without having any coding or data science skills. You can build custom models tailored to your needs, or choose a pre-built model that is ready to use for many common business scenarios. Integration with Power Apps and Power Automate makes using AI easy. To add intelligence to your business, choose an AI model type. Use the model type that suits your business need. Choose from a growing set of AI solutions. 2. Connect data. Select your business-specific data from the available options. 3. Tailor your AI model. Depending on the type of model, you can tweak custom models to optimize how your AI performs. 4. Train your AI model. Training is an automatic process. It teaches your AI model how to resolve your business problem. For example, how to recognize your products on an image based on your business data and tailoring. When trained, your AI model can generate insights such as the result of a prediction or the list and number of objects detected in an image. 5. Use insights from your AI model. Use the results from your AI model across Power Platform to create solutions that meet your business needs, even if you have no coding skills. For example, you can create a flow that automates document processing in Power Automate or an app in Power Apps that predicts whether a supplier will be out of compliance. You can use AI Builder in Microsoft Power Apps in one of two ways, depending on the model you will be using. You can use AI models in the formula bar or add AI Builder components. Use AI models in the formula bar. You can get support for the following AI Builder models that use Power Apps through the formula bar. Here is a table that shows the model types available and the build types you can use. It's either pre-built or pre-built and custom. For the sentiment analysis model type, the build type is pre-built. For entity extraction, the build type is pre-built and custom. For key phrase extraction, it's pre-built. For language detection, it's pre-built. And for category classification, it's pre-built and custom. Add AI Builder components. AI Builder provides two kinds of Power Apps components. Choose your component based on the models you want to use. Components that use pre-built AI models that are ready to use right away. Business Card Reader for Canvas app. Business Card Reader for model-driven app. Receipt Processor for Canvas app. And Text Recognizer for Canvas app. Components that use custom AI models that you build and train. Form Processor and Object Detector. The Business Card Reader is an example of a pre-built component that uses AI components, which can also be used in other ways by creating a custom model. To create a model, users can follow a step-by-step process using the wizard available on make.powerapps.com. Currently, Power Apps offers 4 AI models, which are Prediction. This model uses historical data to predict future events. Form Processor. This model can extract text from images, such as with the Business Card Reader. Object Detector. This model can identify objects and images and provide a count of the number of objects present. Text Classification. This model categorizes text by its meaning to facilitate analysis. The prediction model. The AI Builder's prediction model allows users to generate a model that can predict yes or no outcomes based on historical data. You train the model by providing historical data that includes the yes/no outcome. AI Builder takes care of the rest. With the prediction model, users can create solutions for various business problems, such as, will a lead convert to a customer? Will a project generate profit? Will a customer stop using the product based on their activity? Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and in this section, we'll be covering the functions in Power Apps in a bit more detail. When working with Microsoft Power Apps, you don't need to have expertise in writing complex application code like a professional developer. However, you still need to express the app's logic and manage its features, such as navigation, filtering, and sorting. This is where formulas become useful. If you're familiar with Microsoft Excel functions, you'll find it easy to develop apps using Power Apps. To create a formula, you'll combine one or more formulas with the necessary and optional parameters. These are some common functions used in Power Apps and their purposes. Filter. This function is typically used in conjunction with tables or galleries of data to narrow down the rows retrieved from the data source. By specifying one or more columns in your dataset to perform a logical test on, you can return data that falls within a specific date range, has a particular value, or was created by the user, for instance. Match. This function allows you to check whether a value follows a specified pattern. You can utilize it to validate if the user has entered a correctly formatted email address, and if not, display a warning message indicating that a valid email is required. This function is particularly useful for conditional formatting. Distinct. This function enables you to retrieve the unique values from a list of data, simplifying the process of creating dynamic drop-down menus that display only valid values for a given column. Math functions. Power Apps features a variety of math formulas for manipulating your data, ranging from simple operations like sum and average to more advanced functions such as atten and sin for working with radians. Power Apps can create three types of apps: Canvas, model-driven, and portals. Each is suited to different scenarios and end users. The first one we'll be covering are Canvas apps. So, Canvas apps are a low-code application development platform that allows users to create custom business applications using a drag-and-drop interface. With Canvas apps, users start with a blank canvas and add controls, such as buttons, labels, and text boxes, to create a custom user interface. Users can then connect these controls to data sources, such as Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, SharePoint, or other third-party data sources to create data-driven applications. Canvas apps offer extensive customization options, allowing users to modify the appearance and behavior of controls, create custom formulas and expressions, and integrate with other Microsoft services. They can also be deployed to a variety of platforms, including web browsers and mobile devices. Canvas apps are best suited for scenarios where a high degree of customization and flexibility is required, such as when building custom business processes or workflows. Some common use cases and capabilities of Canvas apps include custom forms and data entry. Canvas apps can be used to create custom forms and data entry interfaces that can be integrated with various data sources like Microsoft Excel, SharePoint, or Dynamics 365. This makes it easier to collect and organize data in a way that is specific to your business requirements. Workflow automation. With Canvas apps, users can build custom workflows that automate business processes like approvals, notifications, or routing of work items. This capability can be integrated with Power Automate, enabling you to connect to over 275 external services and APIs. Custom dashboards and analytics. Canvas apps can be used to create custom dashboards and analytics that display key metrics and data visualizations in a way that is meaningful to your business. This can be integrated with Power BI, allowing you to create interactive reports and data visualizations. Mobile applications. Canvas apps can be used to create mobile applications that are optimized for smartphones and tablets. This can be useful for creating custom applications for field employees, sales teams, or other remote workers. Integration with other services. Canvas apps can be integrated with other Microsoft services like Dynamics 365, Power Automate, and Power BI. This makes it possible to create custom applications that are tailored to your specific business needs, and that can be integrated with other applications or services. Power Apps has many different components to build solutions, including screens, inputs, galleries, forms, and more. Power App Studio is the web-based interface that enables you to create your app without requiring you to download or install a separate client. By logging into https://make.powerapps.com from your browser, you can build your app entirely online using Power Apps. App format. The first step in creating your app is to choose the format of your app, mobile or tablet. While both formats are compatible with mobile device, a tablet, or a computer, each has different defaults regarding the size of the screens and controls. Once you choose the format for an app, you cannot change it. Galleries. The gallery control is used to display rows from a table of data. The display of a row is then defined by a template, which you can customize to meet your needs. This allows you to control which columns are shown and how they are formatted. Power Apps will then apply this template automatically to every row in your data. Forms. Forms are focused on working with a specific record, often based on a selection from a gallery. In this experience, a user browses a gallery to find and select the desired row to view the details on the form. Forms enable a user to not only view detailed information, but to save new records and edit existing ones. The various actions performed with forms are controlled by form modes, allowing the form to serve many purposes. Input controls. Power Apps provides a wide range of input controls to offer maximum flexibility while customizing your apps. These controls include text inputs, buttons, drop-downs, toggles, date pickers, and sliders, among others. You can seamlessly integrate these controls into galleries, forms, and screens to create an aesthetically appealing and functional app. Furthermore, all these inputs come with various settings for default data, formatting, and actions, empowering you to develop an app that offers an optimal user experience for your business process. Intelligent controls. In addition to common inputs, Power Apps also provides a rich set of controls for more advanced operations. These include hardware-backed controls that provide access to features like the camera, barcode scanner, GPS, and other hardware-related functionalities. There are also service-backed controls like the business card reader and object detector, which enable you to incorporate artificial intelligence into your app without writing any code. Functions. Functions play a crucial role in connecting controls, inputs, and data sources in Power Apps. By using functions, you can create formulas that perform various actions such as formatting data, sending data to a data source, or creating animations. These formulas are similar to Excel functions and do not require complex coding. They are easy to use and can enhance the functionality of your app. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be looking at how to build a basic Canvas app. So before we begin, we'll need a sample dataset that we can provide to Power Apps, which will enable it to connect and create a Canvas app. We will need to navigate to this page learn.microsoft.com/en-us/power-apps/maker/canvas-apps/get-started-create-from-data. This page provides steps to create a Canvas app with data from an Excel file and provides a sample dataset we can use. There are many data connectors to use, but for this example, we'll use an Excel file. You are free to use your own Excel file, but the data must be formatted as a table. So the first thing we'll have to do is download the flooring estimates Excel file. I already have the file downloaded on my computer, so I won't need to download it again. Once you have it downloaded, you'll want to upload this file onto your OneDrive. So you'll have to go to the OneDrive. This is part of your Microsoft 365 account and is linked to apps like Power Apps, Power BI, Power Automate, and other apps. Click on Upload, then File, then choose the Flooring Estimates Excel file. I already have it uploaded on my OneDrive, so I won't need to upload it. After you're finished uploading, you'll need to navigate to the Power Apps page. To do that, you can click on the top left square dots, then click on All Apps. Then you can use the search tool, or you can scroll down to find Power Apps. Click on Power Apps to open the Power Apps page. Once we have arrived here, we want to click on Create. As you can see, there are many connections to choose from, but we'll be using the Excel file we uploaded, so we'll click on Excel. So after you click on Excel, you want to click on OneDrive for Business. If you don't have a OneDrive for Business connection already, you'll be prompted to create one by clicking the New Connection button. Then you'll click on the Flooring Estimates file, choose the table, and click on Connect. Here, you will see an app that is created with the Flooring Estimates data. You can press the Play button, or F5, to preview the app in play. Here, it provides the entire list of items in the Excel file that we provided. It has structured the data in an interactive Canvas app which displays the images and details on each item, and it includes multiple functions such as a search option, new item button, and more. You can click on the right arrow to view the item in more detail. It will provide the category, the image, the name, a description, and a price for the specific item. There is an edit button to edit out the specific fields that we've mentioned. And there is a delete button to delete the item. There's also a sort list button to sort by alphabetical order, and a refresh button in case one of your team members has updated the Excel dataset. So you can click on the X on the top right, or press Escape to go back to the previous working Canvas view. Also, there's a good tip here where you can hold the Alt key to activate buttons and other controls while you are working on the app. Normally, if you click on the buttons, you'll just select and highlight the area and you can edit it. But if you hold the Alt key, you can activate the button and controls like this, so you won't need to preview the app and can edit it while testing it. So on the left here shows a tree view of all our items. And as you notice that with every item that I'm selecting, the things on the working canvas are being selected as well. You can see that things like Next Arrow 1, Subtitle 1, Search Icon 1, and so on are correspond to in the working canvas. So let's take a look at something like the Subtitle 1 here. On the right-hand side, it shows all the properties that we can edit for the specific item that we've selected. For example, I can change the font weight to bold, which should reflect on the app right away. I can change the text to something else like Arial. I can change the font color to something like blue, or we can change it to something like orange. But let's leave it the way it originally was for now. So, as you can see on the left in the tree view, this app is broken down into 3 screens. There is the Browse screen, which is the main screen you see with the list of items. There is the Detail screen, which displays the details of each item. And there's the Edit screen, which allows you to edit the fields on a specific item. And each one of these screens has its own layout that is made up of buttons, forms, functions, items, and such for that specific screen for the user to interact with. Some of these buttons may have functions. As you can see on the function bar, it shows New Form, Edit Form 1, and it navigates to Edit Screen 1. But since it's a fundamental course, you won't need to know each and every function and how to use them at a high level. So we can do some small changes to this, such as adding a space to the flooring estimates title to make it more legible. Remember that this only applies to the Browse screen, so we'll have to change the floor estimate title for the Detail and Edit screen as well. You can insert all kinds of items and controls, such as text labels, edit forms, buttons, and many more. So overall, there are many ways to customize and design the way your Canvas app looks using any structured dataset you want. You can add data integration from a variety of sources, including Excel, SharePoint, and SQL Server. And you can publish and share their Canvas apps within their organization or even publicly. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be covering model-driven apps. So, a model-driven app is a type of app that is designed to present data in a structured and organized way using pre-built components and a data model that defines the relationships between different data entities. In a model-driven app, the user interface is generated automatically based on the data model, which allows users to interact with the app in a consistent and intuitive way. Model-driven apps and Power Apps are typically used for complex scenarios where data is stored in multiple tables and there are complex relationships between them. For example, a model-driven app could be used to manage a customer relationship management system where data is stored in tables such as contacts, accounts, and opportunities. The app would provide pre-built components such as forms, lists, and charts that allow users to view, create, and edit data in a structured way. One of the key advantages of model-driven apps and Power Apps is that they provide a high degree of flexibility and customization. Users can modify the data model to add new tables or fields, and they can customize the user interface by adding or removing components, changing layouts, and applying themes. In summary, a model-driven app in Power Apps is a powerful tool for building custom business applications that provide a structured and organized way to interact with complex data models. Before we go more in detail on model-driven apps, we'll go through the main differences between model-driven apps and Canvas apps. The main difference between model-driven apps and Canvas apps and Power Apps is the way the user interface is designed and how data is presented. Model-driven apps have an automatically generated, pre-built interface based on a data model, while Canvas apps allow users to design the interface from scratch using pre-built components and formulas. Model-driven apps are best for complex data models with multiple tables, while Canvas apps are ideal for simpler models or highly customized interfaces. Here are some key differences between model-driven apps and Canvas apps and Power Apps. User interface. Model-driven apps have a pre-built, structured user interface based on the data model, while Canvas apps allow users to design the user interface from scratch. Data model. Model-driven apps are designed to work with complex data models that have multiple tables and relationships, while Canvas apps are better suited for simpler data models. Customization. Canvas apps provide more customization options than model-driven apps, but they also require more design work. Development speed. Model-driven apps can be developed more quickly than Canvas apps because much of the user interface is pre-built, but they may be less flexible in terms of design. Overall, the choice between model-driven apps and Canvas apps depends on the specific requirements of your application. If you need to work with a complex data model, a model-driven app may be the better choice, while if you need more flexibility in terms of design, a Canvas app may be the way to go. In Canvas apps, the app maker has total control over the app layout. With model-driven apps, much of the layout is determined by the components you add. Here is a table to view the differences between the two apps per category to make it more digestible. It's a bit redundant to what we've already stated, but it doesn't hurt to reinforce the information you'll need to know for the exam. Data platform. For model-driven apps, it's Dataverse only, whereas for Canvas apps, it's Dataverse plus many others using connectors. Design experience. There is no code component-focused design for model-driven apps, but for Canvas apps, there is manipulation of control properties using PowerFX expressions. UI control. For model-driven apps, there is limited, predominantly customization. Canvas apps have full control. For model-driven apps, the app consistency is high, differs predominantly based on the tables and views chosen. For Canvas apps, it's often low, given the significant control the designers have of the user experience. The migration between environments is simple for model-driven apps, and potentially complex given that the data sources may need to be updated for Canvas apps. Speed of creation is rapid for model-driven apps, and relative to the complexity of the design for Canvas apps. It's automatically responsive for model-driven apps, and only responsive if designed in this way for Canvas apps. For model-driven apps, the navigation through relationships is automatic, provided relationships exist. And for Canvas apps, it's only where designed and applied using PowerFX formulas. Accessibility features are built in for model-driven apps, whereas for Canvas apps, it's designed into the app, create accessible Canvas apps. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be covering the 3 design phases of a model-driven app. So, model-driven apps have 3 design phases. 1. Model your business data. 2. Define your business processes. 3. Build the app. Model your business data. Model-driven design uses metadata-driven architecture so that designers can customize apps without writing code. To model business data, you determine what data the app will need and how that data will relate to other data. Metadata means data about data and defines the structure of the data stored in Microsoft Dataverse. You create a data model that defines the structure of the data that the app will use. This includes defining entities and the relationships between them. You can also define data fields, views, and charts. Define your business processes. Defining and enforcing consistent business processes is a key aspect of model-driven app design. Consistent processes help ensure that your app users can focus on their work and not worry about having to remember to perform a set of manual steps. Processes can be simple or complex, and they often change over time. You define the business processes that the app will support, such as workflows, approvals, and notifications. You can use the built-in tools in Power Apps to create and manage these processes. The screenshot illustrates the impact of having a business process flow in place. Build the app. After modeling data and defining processes, you build your app by selecting and setting up the components you need in the app designer. You create the user interface for the app using pre-built components such as forms, lists, and charts. The user interface is generated automatically based on the data model you created in the first phase. You can also customize the user interface by adding or removing components, changing layouts, and applying themes. The next topic we'll be covering are the building blocks of model-driven apps. Starting with data, the table below shows the different data components that can make up a model-driven app, which can determine what data the app will be based upon. It also shows what designer is used to create or edit the data component. Tables are items with properties that you track. Examples include contacts and accounts. Many standard tables are available. You can customize a non-system standard table. You could also create a custom table from scratch. Columns are properties that are associated with a table and help define that table. A column is defined by a data type, which determines the type of data that can be entered or selected. Examples of data types include text, number, date and time, currency, and lookup. Columns are typically used in forms, views, and searches. Relationships define how tables can be related to each other. There are one and n relationships. For example, adding a lookup column to a table creates a new one n relationship between the two tables and lets you add that lookup column to a form. Choice. This type of column shows a control that lets the user select among predefined options. Each option has a number value and a label. Choice columns can require either a single value or multiple values. User interface. The table below shows the user interface components, which determine how users will interact with the app and what designer is used to create or edit the component. Apps determine the app fundamentals like components, properties, the client type, and the URL. Sitemap. A sitemap specifies the navigation for your app. Forms include a set of data entry columns for a given table. A form can be used to create a new data row or edit an existing one. Views define how a list of rows for a specific table appears in your app. A view defines the columns shown. Logic. The logic components determine what business processes, rules, and automation the app will have. Microsoft Power Apps makers use a designer that is specific to the type of process or rule they are needing. Business process flow. Business process flows walk users through a standard business process. Use a business process flow if you want everyone to handle customer service requests the same way, or you can use a business process flow to require staff to gain approval for an invoice before submitting an order. Workflows automate business processes without a user interface. Designers use workflows to initiate automation that does not require any user interaction. Actions are a type of process that lets you manually invoke behaviors, including custom actions, directly from a workflow. Business rules apply rules or recommendation logic to a form to set field requirements, hide or show fields, validate data, and more. App designers use a simple interface to implement and maintain fast-changing and commonly used rules. Flows. Power Automate is a cloud-based service that lets you create automated workflows between apps and services to get notifications, sync files, collect data, and more. Visualization. The visualization components determine what type of data and reporting the app will show and have available and which designer is used to create or edit that component. Charts are individual graphical visualizations that can appear in a view or a form or that can be added to a dashboard. Dashboards show one or more graphical visualizations in one place that provide an overview of actionable business data. Embedded Microsoft Power BI. Power BI adds embedded Power BI tiles and dashboards to your app. Power BI is a cloud-based service that provides business intelligence insight. Another important aspect of a model-driven app is the business logic. Model-driven apps are created using the app designer. Users select tables, dashboards, business process flows, forms, and other components to be made available in the app, which will then be automatically generated. This means you will need to spend more time understanding what your user needs than how it is going to look. Business logic. When incorporating business logic in your app, there are two primary options available. You can set business rules on your Microsoft Dataverse tables, or you can build business process flows. With business rules, you'll define behaviors at the data layer. Business rules are great for setting conditions for when a field is required, setting a default value, or even showing or hiding a field based on criteria. An example could be a table for tracking expenses. You could have a column for type of travel and then build a business rule that dictates that if a user chooses automobile, then the mileage field is required, else it is optional. This gives you the power to make sure you maintain data consistency in all scenarios. In Power Apps, a business process flow is a feature that helps guide users through a specific process or workflow within an app. They can be used to standardize processes, ensure consistency, and improve efficiency. A business process flow consists of a series of stages and steps, each with its own set of fields and actions. Users can move through the stages and steps to complete the process, and business process flows can be set up to require certain fields or data entry before advancing to the next stage. They can be associated with specific entities in Power Apps, such as leads, opportunities, or cases, and can be customized to fit the specific needs of the organization. Additionally, business process flows can be used in conjunction with other features in Power Apps, such as business rules, to further enhance the user experience and streamline workflows. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be providing a brief overview of dashboards in Power Apps. In Power Apps, a dashboard is a user interface that provides a summary view of data from various sources. Dashboards in Power Apps typically include visualizations such as charts, graphs, tables, and other data-driven components that allow users to quickly and easily view and analyze data in a centralized location. Power Apps dashboards can be customized to meet specific business requirements and can be created using various data sources, including Microsoft Dataverse, Excel spreadsheets, and SharePoint lists. Users can also create multiple dashboards and share them with specific individuals or groups within the organization. Dashboards in Power Apps are an essential component of data analysis and visualization, providing users with a clear and concise view of key performance indicators, trends, and other critical business metrics. You can implement dashboards with custom filters and visual graphics to tie all this data together right in your app. When creating your dashboards, make sure they are simple for your users to consume without overwhelming them with all the data. Provide high-level snapshots of your data and allow them to use filters to dive deeper into the data if needed. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and in this video, we'll be going over a sample of a model-driven app. So the first thing you want to do is to go to the Power Apps page, which is at make.powerapps.com. Here, it provides you with a lot of options to build business apps. You can start from blank, Dataverse, SharePoint, Excel, SQL, and so on. Let's start by using a template that is already prepared for us. This will give us a better understanding of a model-driven app, like the structure and all the tables of data that are linked together. So we'll be clicking on the Create button on the left side panel, scroll down, and look for the templates. As you can see, we have a lot of templates we can choose from. But let's take a look at Innovation Challenge, which is labeled as a model-driven app. Click on Create. Now that we have it loaded, we can look at this page in better detail. So in the center box is the model-driven app view. On the left, you can see the Pages tab currently open. You also have other tabs here, such as Navigation, Data, and Automation. We won't have to worry too much about it as of now. On the right-hand side are the properties that you can edit or change. Depending on what you are selecting, it could be the content type, title, icon, ID, and so on. So let's press the play button on the top right to preview this model-driven app. Okay, so what we're currently viewing right now is a dashboard. The use case we're seeing generally involves gathering ideas and concepts, transforming them into projects, and connecting them with larger business strategies. And this model-driven app has tables that are related to each other, and we want to be able to track all of those things. So this dashboard consists of visually appealing charts and lists of items that make it easy to see what's going on. And this application has 3 tables in it. We have challenges, ideas, and team projects. So if we take a look at challenges, this will show us a view of tables consisting of the name, number of ideas, launch date, accept new ideas, and so on. We can sort however we like or filter by using more advanced features. We can also edit the information on the tables if we wish to. So if we were to double-click into one of these challenges, such as the connected operations, at the top here we have a business process flow, and this guides the user across the stages and steps of an end-to-end process that you've made in your business that you want to track, manage, and report on. So as you can see, we have lots of different fields of information, such as the description and owner. We have a drag and drop with multiple different boxes you can check, like email, Teams, and phone. We have a list of stakeholders and other records, so one challenge may be linked to many contributed ideas, and so on. I'm able to click on one of those ideas and see something similar. For example, if I click on the fleet automation idea, you can see another business process flow at the top here. You can see the visibility of that parent challenge record showing through with read-only fields. Here, you can see the investment required of $50,000. The time to ROI of 12 months, status reason is active, the idea score is 9, and the risk score is 5. Then, the other thing we can do with a business process flow is approve the project stages manually and proceed to the next stage. However, they must meet the set of requirements. And if we look at the Team Projects tab, we will see the list of active team projects. Here we see the fleet automation that we were just on, listing all the relevant information on that. So you can sort of see how the tables and data are linked together through many relationships and how it can be sorted and transformed into a dashboard. As mentioned before, this dashboard is built using these 3 tables: challenges, ideas, and team projects, which is part of the Innovation Challenge Model-Driven app. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and in this video, we'll be covering how to create a basic model-driven app, or specifically a simplified version of the Innovation Challenge Model-Driven app we showed earlier. So, as we've mentioned before, model-driven apps are built using Microsoft Dataverse, and if we click on Tables, you will see a list of tables ready for you to use for common activities or scenarios. The most common data tables: user account and contacts, because when you are doing anything that involves customers, these will most likely come into play. You can choose to use them or not, but you'll see that they're comprehensive. You can add to them or you can edit them in your app, so you've got that starting point. So let's click on Solutions and click on Innovation Challenge. As you can see, our Innovation Challenge currently has no objects, so we'll need to create some. If we recall, the Innovation Challenge had 3 tables: Challenge, Ideas, and Team Projects. We'll only be creating the Challenge and Ideas tables for this simplified version. Let's click on the New button, then towards Table. So for the display name, this will be Challenge. We can enable attachments if we want. Click on Advanced Options. And here we have many options and boxes we can select, such as track changes, setting up SharePoint document management, and so on. But what we want to select is the Create New Activity. This will create a timeline that's going to be in the middle. Now that we have a table created, we're going to need to create some of the columns that were in the Innovation Challenge app. So let's click on Columns under the Schema box. As you can see, there's already a list of columns in the Power Apps environment for common use cases, such as created by, created on, modified by, owner, and so on. You can set up all kinds of ownership and security and permissions, which allows you to control that at a very granular level. If we recall from the Innovation Challenge app, it had columns like description, duration, accept new ideas until, and communicate via. These aren't included in the common columns that Power Apps has provided, so we'll need to create them and customize them similarly to the app. Click on New Column. Give the display name as description. The data type will be text, and we want the multiple lines of text to be rich text. Click on Save. We'll now need to create the Accept New Ideas Until column, so click on New Column again. The display name is Accept New Ideas Until. Use the Data Type drop-down menu to select date and time, and we'll select date only. Then click on Save. The next column we'll add is the duration column, so click on New Column. The display name is duration, weeks in brackets, and we want the data type to be number, and select whole number. Click on Save. Click on New Column again. This column is the Communicate Via column. The data type will be choice. And we want to choose the Selecting Multiple Choices is Allowed checkbox. And on the bottom, we want to select New Choice. The display name will be Communication. Here, we'll be making the 3 choices. The first one is Email. Click on New Choice. Label the second choice as Teams. Then the last label is Phone. We can add color to the boxes to make them a bit more visually appealing and easier to distinguish by selecting the box on the left. After that's done, click on Save. Next, we have to sync this choice with the communication choice that we just created, so search for that and select Communication. Save that as well. Okay, now let's create the Ideas table. Click on New. Click on Table. The display name is Idea, and we also want to have the same features as the first table, so we'll click on the Creating a New Activity checkbox so we can have that timeline of activities in it. Let's add a column to the idea table called Investment Required. So, same process. Click on New, then click on Column. The display name is Investment Required. For the data type, it will be Currency. Click Save. You can make the app as complex as you want by adding in as many tables and different things to it. So the next thing we're going to do is create something called a lookup column for the idea table. This links these two together from the idea table back to the originating challenge table. So we'll click on New, then select Column. We'll name this Origin Challenge. The data type will be lookup, and the related table will be challenge. Click on Save. So if we click on Relationships from the schema box, we should be able to see the origin challenge that we created between the two tables. The challenge and idea tables are linked together through their relationships. You can also create relationships here on the top left, such as many-to-one, one-to-many, and many-to-many. A lot of the work is already done for you with the intersecting tables behind the scenes, so you won't have to worry too much about that. The next component we want to look at is views. So click on Views in the idea table, then click on Active Ideas. This is where you build your app component. You get to choose the columns you want and do the filtering process. This is a drag and drop interface, so you can drag in the columns, such as the investment required column we just created, and we can add in the origin challenge into the view, organize the columns, and resize to your fitting. We can also add and edit filters and sorting order so that it comes up filtered by certain things you might want to only see. Next, click on Save As, then click on Save, and click back to return to the previous screen. The next thing we'll be creating is called a form. So you want to click on the Challenges table and click on Forms. Then you want to click on Information. The form type as main should be fine. This is pretty much the skeleton and structure of the table where you'll be able to enter in information and create challenges. So in here, you're able to add different kinds of columns and headings and things on the page. On the bottom right, let's click on Layout and change it to 3 columns wide, similarly to the original app. You can have 1, 2, or 3 columns. Next, let's drag some of the columns that we made that were for the Innovation Challenge app. Accept new ideas until can be placed on the top right. Communicate via can be placed below the owner. The description-rich text box can be placed between the name and owner. We can place the duration on the top right as well. Let's click on the components. We'll be adding a timeline in the column here. And we'll be creating something called a subgrid. So we'll need to scroll through and select the ideas table for this. And then the default view of active ideas is already set. Click on Done. Move that over to the right column. So let's rename these labels because new SG control with these numbers isn't very helpful. We'll name the subgrid as Ideas, and we'll give the column label section the contributing ideas. We can rename the middle column section to something like Events. You can customize it to however you're liking. There are many features and components you can add to it. So this should be similar enough to the Innovation Challenge app, so we'll click on Save a Copy, then click Save. Next, we'll return to the Innovation app page. This time, we'll be creating a business process flow, which was the bar at the top that takes you from the end to end of the stages and steps of the process. So click on New, drop down menu to Automation, then Process, and click on Business Process Flow. We'll need to provide a name for it, so Challenge Process seems fine. We'll need to select which table it's related to, so we're using the Challenge table. Click on Create. On the top left, we'll need to add more stages to the business process flow. The Innovation Challenge app had 4 stages, so we'll need to create 3 more stages. You can create as many as you want, but we'll keep it similar to the original. Let's give the stages a name just like the business process flow in the Innovation app. So the first stage is Setup. The second stage is Track. The third stage is Select and Execute. And the fourth stage is Close and Award. In these stages, we'll need to provide a data step for each one of them. So to keep things simple, we'll give duration in weeks for the data fields in all the stages. If you don't have the data steps set up, you won't be able to activate the business process flow. You can also add conditions and more complex features, but we'll keep it simple in this app. After adding the data steps, click on Save. Then you can click on Activate. Okay, so the next step is to create the model-driven app. So click on New, drop down menu to App, then click on Model-Driven App. We'll give the model-driven app a name, so Innovation Challenge App is fine. Click on Create. Next, we'll need to add a page, so click on Add Page, then choose the Dataverse table, then click Next. We'll be adding in the challenge an idea table that we created into our model-driven app. So click on Add Page again, Dataverse table, then click on Next. Find the idea table and click Add. We also want to rename the Group 1 on our app. So let's click on the Navigation tab, click on Group 1, and rename to something appropriate for the app, like Innovation. Next, we'll need to click on the Automation tab on the left. We'll need to add our business process flow to the app, so we'll click on Challenge Process. After that, click on Save, then click on Publish. After that's done, we'll go back to the Innovation Challenge app screen, and at the top, we'll click on Publish All Customizations. Once you see the Publish All Customizations Succeeded notification, you can navigate back to the Apps tab. Here, you should see the Innovation Challenge app that you have created and customized. So click on that. We'll need to enter in the challenges that were in the original Innovation Challenge app. So click on New. Here, we can see the form that we created in this same structure. We have the business process flow, the name, description, odor, communicate via, and so on, just like the original. So let's enter in some of the information. The name is Connected Operations. We'll give that a description and fill in all the other stuff. After we've finished entering the information in and selecting the things we want, we can click on Save in the top. And once we go back, we can see that a challenge has been added to the active challenges list. We can choose to add more challenges and ideas to the model-driven app to make it similar to the original app. So, as we mentioned earlier, this is a simplified version of the Innovation Challenge app. You can play around with the tables, the forms, views, business process flows, and create what you want to learn more. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be covering Power Automate in greater detail. So, do you regularly download email attachments before uploading them to the database? Does the process of authorizing a new purchase order involve retrieving a form from a physical location for signatures? Do you have to manually visit a website daily, locate the daily numbers, and then transfer them to another system? Power Automate is a solution that can help with these and other similar scenarios. It is designed to enable computers to manage repetitive tasks. With Power Automate, anyone familiar with the business process can establish a repeatable sequence that executes the process when triggered. Common scenarios and capabilities of Power Automate: automating repetitive tasks like transferring data between systems, guiding a user through a multi-stage process, connecting to external data sources using various connectors or an API, automating desktop-based and website processes with robotic process automation capabilities. Access to data is an important aspect of app development, and Power Automate provides over 600 connectors to connect to data and services on the web or on premises. Some common data sources include Microsoft Dataverse, Salesforce, Dynamics 365, Google Drive, Office 365. Microsoft Power Platform easily supports multiple data connections, allowing you to bring data together from many platforms into a single automation. Additionally, Power Automate enables users to create custom connectors using a Swagger file to connect to any data source that is not covered by the existing connectors. So, those are the main values of using Power Automate. There are several types of flows you can create with Power Automate. Power Automate works by creating flows, of which there are three main types: cloud flows, business process flows, and desktop flows. Cloud flows: these flows are created with a trigger and one or more actions, and there are many triggers and actions available through connectors, such as receiving an email or a social media mention. They are categorized as My Flows or Team Flows based on ownership, with My Flows being owned solely by the creator and Team Flows having multiple owners. Create a cloud flow to automate a task that can be triggered automatically, immediately, or on a schedule. Automated flows: these flows are triggered automatically when a specific event occurs in a connected application or service, such as arrival of an email from a specific person or a mention of your company in social media. Instant flows. These flows can be triggered manually by the user through the Power Automate mobile app, the web interface, or other methods. For example, instantly send a reminder to the team with a push of a button from your mobile device. Scheduled flows. These flows run on a regular schedule or at specific times, such as daily data upload to SharePoint or a database. Business process flows. These flows are built to augment the experience when using model-driven apps in Microsoft Dataverse. Use these to create a guided experience in your model-driven apps. Desktop flows. These robotic process automation flows allow you to record yourself performing actions on your desktop or within a web browser. You can then trigger a flow to perform that process for you. You can also pass data in or get data out of the process, letting you automate even manual business processes. So these are the types of flows in Power Automate. The next topic we'll be covering in Power Automate are Cloud Flow templates. So a Cloud Flow template is a pre-built workflow that automates a specific business process or task in Power Automate. These templates are designed to be easily customized and deployed, allowing users to quickly create and share automated workflows that meet their specific needs. Cloud Flow templates are available for a wide range of use cases, from simple data transfers between applications to complex business processes involving multiple steps and approvals. Users can browse and search for templates in the Power Automate interface or on the Microsoft Power Platform website, and can also create their own templates to share with others. You can choose from a collection of templates to find the one that best matches your company's scenario. Search all templates or browse by category to find your scenario, and then follow the steps in the template to create a Cloud Flow from the template. Some common use cases for Cloud Flow templates in Power Automate include wide approval workflows. Templates can be used to create automated approval workflows for documents, contracts, and other types of requests. For example, a template could be created that automatically sends a document to a manager for approval when it is uploaded to a specific folder. 2. Social media monitoring. Templates can be used to monitor social media platforms for mentions of a company, product, or brand. This can help businesses stay up to date with customer feedback and respond quickly to any issues. 3. Data integration. Templates can be used to automate the integration of data from different sources. For example, a template could be created that automatically pulls customer data from a CRM system and adds it to a marketing automation platform. 4. Event management. Templates can be used to automate the management of events, such as sending invitations, tracking RSVPs, and sending reminders. 5. Document automation. Templates can be used to automate the creation of documents, such as contracts, invoices, and reports. This can help businesses save time and reduce errors. Overall, Cloud Flow templates are a powerful tool that can be used to automate a wide range of business processes, improve efficiency, and reduce errors. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from ExamPro, and the next topic we'll be covering are the Microsoft Power Automate concepts, starting with actions and triggers. Power Automate Cloud Flows use connector triggers and actions to automate tasks. Every flow has two main parts, a trigger and one or more actions. A trigger is an event that starts the workflow, such as a new email arriving in your inbox, a file being added to a folder, or a new record being created in a database. Triggers are used to initiate the workflow and determine when it should run. An action is a specific task that is performed as part of the workflow, such as sending an email, creating a new item in a list, or updating a record in a database. Actions are used to automate tasks and perform specific functions based on the trigger. Connectors are the bridge between the triggers and actions, allowing them to communicate with other services and applications. By using the appropriate connectors, users can create powerful and complex workflows that automate a wide range of business processes. Connector triggers and actions are the building blocks of Power Automate Cloud Flows, allowing users to easily automate tasks and streamline their workflows. Some examples of types of actions you can have in a flow include loops, runs an action until conditions are met to move to the next step of the flow. Switch identifies a single case to execute based on the evaluation of input. Do until executes a block of actions until a specified condition evaluates to true. Applied at each executes a block of actions for each item in the input array. Expressions, underlying definition that describes the actual logic that runs in your flow that can be manually written. You can also perform data operations in your flow, such as compose, create CSV table, join, or select. These concepts will come into play later when you build your own flows from scratch. The next Power Automate concept we'll be covering in greater detail are loops. A loop in Power Automate is a control structure that allows you to repeat a set of actions for each item in a collection or until a specific condition is met. Loops are useful for automating tasks that involve processing a large number of items or performing a set of actions repeatedly until a specific outcome is achieved. The idea behind a loop is to make a desktop flow repeat one or more actions multiple times. Power Automate implements the simplest type of loops with the loop action. This loop repeats the actions between the loop and end actions for a set number of times. A loop index variable is created automatically to track the current iteration's number. There are 4 types of loops available in Power Automate. Apply to each loop. This loop allows you to process each item in a collection one at a time. It is useful for automating tasks that involve processing a large number of items, such as sending an email for each row in a SharePoint list. Do until loop. This loop allows you to repeat a set of actions until a specific condition is met. It is useful for automating tasks that require a specific outcome, such as waiting until a file is available in a cloud storage service before continuing with other actions. Do while loop. This loop allows you to repeat a set of actions while a specific condition is true. It is useful for automating tasks that involve checking for new data, such as waiting for new emails to arrive in a mailbox. For each loop, this loop allows you to process each item in a collection based on a specific index or value. It is useful for automating tasks that involve working with lists or tables, such as updating records in a database. These loops are flexible and powerful, and they can be combined with other actions and conditions to create complex workflows. By using loops, you can automate repetitive tasks, reduce errors, and improve your productivity. The next Power Automate concept we'll be covering is a switch. In Power Automate, a switch is a control statement that allows you to perform different actions based on the value of a specified input. The input could be a string, number, or Boolean value. The switch statement evaluates the input and compares it to a set of defined cases. If the input matches one of the cases, the corresponding action is executed. If there is no match, a default action can be executed. Here is a simplified example. Suppose you want to automate an approval process based on the amount of a purchase request. You could use a switch statement to check the value of the purchase request and perform different actions based on the amount. For example, if the purchase request is less than $100, send an approval email to the manager. If the purchase request is between $100 and $1,000, send an approval email to the department head. If the purchase request is more than $1,000, send an approval email to the CEO. Here is a simple visual of a switch layout. So, it identifies a single case to execute based on the evaluation of switch input. You have a value that's passed through and case that checks to see if it matches. If the case does match, those actions are run. However, if there are no cases that match, then the default case is run. By using a switch statement, you can simplify your workflow and reduce the amount of branching logic you need to write. You can also easily add new cases as your business requirements change. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and the next topic we'll be going through are conditions. In Power Automate, a condition is a control statement that allows you to test whether a specific condition is true or false and execute different actions depending on the result. Conditions are used to make decisions in your workflow based on the data that is being processed. For example, you may have a condition in your workflow that checks whether the value of a field in a SharePoint list is equal to a specific value. If the condition is true, the workflow might continue to the next step, such as sending an email or updating another field in the list. If the condition is false, the workflow might take a different action, such as terminating the workflow or notifying a user of the error. Power Automate supports a variety of different conditions, such as equals, greater than, less than, contains, starts with, ends with, and more. You can also combine conditions using logical operators such as and, or, and not to create more complex conditions. To use a condition in your workflow, you typically add a condition action to your workflow, specify the condition you want to evaluate, and then specify the actions you want to take based on whether the condition is true or false. Using conditions in Power Automate allows you to create more intelligent and flexible workflows that can make decisions based on the data being processed and take appropriate actions based on those decisions. In Power Automate, an expression is a formula or a string of code that performs a specific operation or manipulation on data. They are used to perform calculations, manipulate text, and evaluate conditions, among other things. Expressions can be used in various places within Power Automate, such as within actions, conditions, or dynamic content. For example, you can use an expression to calculate a date based on the current date, extract a substring from a text string, or evaluate the result of a condition. Expressions in Power Automate use a syntax similar to that used in programming languages, with functions, operators, and variables. Power Automate provides a rich set of built-in functions that you can use in your expressions, such as string manipulation functions, date and time functions, and mathematical functions. In addition to the built-in functions, you can also create custom expressions by combining multiple functions and operators to perform more complex operations. Expressions in Power Automate also support dynamic content, which allows you to reference data from previous steps in your workflow. Using expressions in Power Automate allows you to perform complex operations on your data and automate your workflows more efficiently. By leveraging the power of expressions, you can create more flexible and robust workflows that meet your specific business requirements. Here are some examples of how expressions can be used in Power Automate. Dynamic email subject. You can use expressions to create a dynamic email subject line that includes data from your workflow. For example, you could include the name of the customer or the ID of the record that triggered the workflow. Date and time calculations. You can use expressions to perform calculations on dates and times, such as adding or subtracting days or hours from a date. This can be useful in scheduling workflows or setting reminders. Conditional actions. You can use expressions in conditional actions to evaluate data and make decisions based on that data. For example, you could check if a value is greater than a certain threshold or if a string contains a specific word. Data transformations. You can use expressions to transform data from one format to another. For example, you could convert a string to a number or a date to a string. Array manipulations. You can use expressions to manipulate arrays of data, such as filtering, sorting, or joining arrays. Data validation. You can use expressions to validate data before performing an action. For example, you could check if a field is blank or if a value is within a certain range. In Power Automate, an approval is a type of action that allows you to send a request for approval to one or more individuals. The approval action can be used to automate the approval process for various tasks, such as expense reports, time-off requests, or document approvals. When an approval action is triggered, a request is sent to the designated approver with the relevant information and options for approving or rejecting the request. Approvers can review the request and provide comments, if necessary, before making a decision. Once a decision is made, the workflow can proceed to the next action based on the approver's response. The approval action in Power Automate provides several customization options, such as setting approval conditions, adding custom messages or attachments, and specifying escalation rules. The approval action can also be integrated with other services, such as Microsoft Teams or Outlook, to provide a seamless approval process within a familiar interface. Approvals actions. Actions are the events you want your flow to perform after the trigger starts the flow. For example, when a new item is added to a list created with Microsoft Lists, trigger an approval to have somebody review the new item. This image shows the full list of approval actions that you can use in your flows. There are 4 approval types you can use. Approve, reject. Everyone must approve. All approvers are given 2 options, approve or reject. A response is needed from each approver before the flow run is completed. The actions that follow the start and wait for an approval action run after all the approvers respond or when a single rejection occurs. Approve, reject, first to respond. Assigned approvers are given 2 options, approve or reject. Approval or rejection by any approver completes the request. The actions that follow the start and wait for an approval action run after any one of the approvers gives approval. Custom responses, wait for all responses. You define the options the assigned approvers can choose from. All approvers must respond to complete the process. Custom responses, wait for one response. You define the options the assigned approvers can choose from. A response from any approver completes the process. So that's a general overview of approvals in Power Automate. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be covering the use cases for Power Automate with some of Microsoft's popular services like Microsoft Teams, Outlook, SharePoint, and Forms. Starting off with Microsoft Teams. Automatically create teams and channels for new projects or teams. Send notifications to teams when new items are added to SharePoint or other apps. Automatically create a Teams meeting from an Outlook calendar event using Power Automate. Set up a flow that automatically posts a message to a Teams channel when a new file is added to a OneDrive folder. Outlook. Automatically create calendar events from emails or create emails from calendar events. Send automated emails based on specific triggers, such as new leads or completed tasks. Save email attachments to OneDrive or SharePoint for easy access and collaboration. Automatically send an email notification when a new item is added to a SharePoint list using Power Automate. SharePoint. Automatically create SharePoint list items from form submissions or emails. Send notifications when items are added or updated in SharePoint lists. Automate document approval processes and workflows such as document review and approval, publishing, and archiving. Automatically save attachments to SharePoint libraries and folders for easy collaboration and document management. Forms. Automatically create tasks, calendar events, or SharePoint list items based on form submissions. Send custom confirmation emails or approval requests based on specific form responses. Automatically create charts or dashboards based on form data to visualize responses and trends. Use branching logic to customize the form experience based on specific responses, such as showing or hiding specific questions or sections. These are just a few examples of the many use cases for Power Automate with Microsoft Teams, Outlook, SharePoint, and Forms. Power Automate can be used to automate and streamline many different types of business workflows and can be customized to meet the specific needs of your organization. The Power Automate platform is accessible through various apps and portals: Power Automate for Desktop, Power Automate Mobile, and the Power Automate portal. The first one we'll be covering is Power Automate for Desktop. So, Power Automate for Desktop is a desktop-based app that allows users to create and run workflows on their local machine. This app is useful for automating tasks that involve local files and applications. Power Automate for Desktop provides a graphical user interface that allows users to drag and drop activities, conditions, and other workflow elements to build automation workflows. It supports a wide range of actions, including running PowerShell scripts, reading and writing to Excel files, automating web browser interactions, and many others. Power Automate Mobile. Power Automate Mobile is a mobile app available on iOS and Android devices. This app enables users to create, manage, and run workflows from their mobile devices. With Power Automate Mobile, users can create and run flows, browse and search for existing flows, and receive push notifications when a flow completes or requires their attention. It also supports location-based triggers, allowing users to automate workflows based on their current location. Power Automate Mobile allows users to access various connectors that enable them to integrate with other applications and service. These connectors include popular business applications like Salesforce, Dynamics 365, and SharePoint, as well as services like Twitter, Dropbox, and OneDrive. Power Automate Portal. The Power Automate portal is a web-based portal that enables users to create, manage, and run workflows from any web browser. The portal provides a graphical interface for building workflows and offers various templates to help users get started quickly. The portal also provides access to various connectors that allow users to integrate with other applications and services. Users can create custom forms and pages that allow external users to submit requests, access data, or initiate workflows. It provides a range of features such as user authentication and authorization, role-based access control, and integration with other business applications that enable users to create secure and scalable portals. In summary, Power Automate provides users with multiple options to build, manage, and run workflows on different platforms, including desktop, mobile, and web-based portals. This flexibility allows users to automate their workflows and streamline their business processes, regardless of their location or the device they are using. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be covering actions for Power Automate Desktop Flows. Power Automate Desktop Flows offer a wide range of actions that enable users to automate various tasks on their desktop, such as file management, data processing, web automation, and more. Here are some common actions available for Power Automate Desktop. File System. Power Automate Desktop allows users to perform various file system tasks, such as creating, deleting, moving, copying, and renaming files and folders. Excel. Users can perform actions on Excel spreadsheets, such as opening, closing, reading, writing, and formatting data. Email. Power Automate Desktop can automate email tasks, such as sending and receiving emails, downloading attachments, and extracting data from emails. Web automation, users can automate web-based tasks such as web scraping, filling out web forms, and interacting with web pages. Image recognition, Power Automate Desktop offers image recognition capabilities that allow users to automate tasks based on image recognition, such as clicking on a specific button or selecting a specific item from a list. Text processing, users can perform text processing tasks such as searching, replacing, splitting, and parsing text. Database, Power Automate Desktop can interact with various databases such as SQL Server, MySQL, and Oracle to perform actions such as reading, writing, and querying data. System, users can automate various system-level tasks such as running applications, capturing screenshots, sending keystrokes, and managing system processes. Overall, Power Automate Desktop provides users with a powerful set of actions that they can use to automate a wide range of tasks and processes on their Windows-based computers. It enables users to save time and increase productivity by automating repetitive tasks and processes. The next topic we'll be going through is document processing in Power Automate. Document processing in Power Automate refers to the automation of tasks related to the processing of documents, such as PDFs, images, and text files. With the document processing capabilities in Power Automate, users can automate various tasks related to document processing, such as extracting data from documents, converting documents from one format to another, and processing large volumes of documents. Here are some of the document processing features available in Power Automate. Optical character recognition, also known as OCR, is a technology that converts scanned documents or images into editable text. Power Automate's OCR capability enables users to extract text from scanned documents, images, or PDFs. This feature is useful for automating data entry tasks or extracting information from documents, such as invoices or receipts. Form processing, Power Automate's form processing feature allows users to extract data from structured forms, such as surveys, feedback forms, or job applications. This feature uses machine learning models to recognize and extract data from form fields, eliminating the need for manual data entry. PDF generation, Power Automate allows users to generate PDF documents from various sources, such as templates, data sources, or web pages. This feature is useful for automating document generation tasks, such as creating invoices, contracts, or reports. Document conversion, Power Automate can convert documents from one format to another, such as PDF to Word, Excel to CSV, or HTML to PDF. This feature is useful for automating document conversion tasks or preparing documents for further processing. Document approval, Power Automate offers document approval workflows that enable users to review, approve, or reject documents. This feature is useful for automating document approval tasks, such as purchase orders, invoices, or contracts. Overall, Power Automate's document processing features offer a powerful set of tools to automate document processing tasks, making them faster and more accurate. These features enable users to streamline document workflows, reduce errors, and increase productivity. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from ExamPro, and the next topic we'll be covering is AI Builder in Power Automate. To take advantage of AI capabilities, you must first build a model with AI Builder. AI Builder in Power Automate provides several types of pre-built models that can be used for various purposes. Object detection, this model can be used to detect and identify specific objects within an image. Form processing, this model can extract key data from forms such as invoices, receipts, and surveys. Prediction, this model can be used to make predictions based on historical data. Text classification, this model can classify text into different categories. Sentiment analysis, this model can analyze text to determine the sentiment of the text. Business card reader, this model can extract key information from business cards such as name, phone number, and email. Language detection, this model can detect the language of a text. Keyword extraction, this model can extract important keywords from a text. Entity extraction, this model can identify and extract key entities from a text. These pre-built models can be customized and trained to meet specific business needs, or users can create their own models from scratch using AI Builder's drag and drop interface. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from ExamPro, and in this video, we'll be showing you how to build a basic Power Automate flow. So the first thing you'll want to do is to go to the Power Automate page at make.powerautomate.com. Here, we are currently at the home page, and it shows you all the things you can do, like what would you like to automate. And you can choose specific tasks that you want to quickly automate with a pre-built template. And on the left, it shows a big list of things as well, like approvals, my flows, create, and so on. What we're interested here are the templates, because these are pre-built templates that make our lives a lot easier. Most of the time, there will be a scenario where Power Automate already has it created for you, so you'll just have to enter a few fields for the trigger and actions, and you'll be ready to go. As you can see, there are hundreds of templates available for you to fit your scenario. There are various types of templates such as scheduled, automated, and instant. Some examples could be email automation, approvals, data collection, and they can connect to other platforms like Power BI, Teams, Outlook, and much more. For this example, we can try something simple like save Outlook.com email attachments to your OneDrive. So whenever you receive an email that has attachments in your Outlook inbox, it will also save those attachments in your OneDrive. This can be useful in case you may forget something or you want to store important files in your OneDrive. All of this is automated for you once you input a few fields of information. We could also try something related to Microsoft Teams. For example, we can search for Teams. Something like send an email when a new message is added in Microsoft Teams looks very simple and straightforward, so this will send an email to whoever you select when a new message is added in Teams. This can be useful for alerting teammates that may not have access to Teams at the moment, or sending important messages that may be on Teams but was not sent to your email. So let's take a look at that. For this flow, we'll need to connect to our Microsoft Teams account and our Office 365 Outlook. I already have my account connected, so I won't need to connect again, but if it's your first time, you'll probably need to connect to these apps. Click on Continue. So on the top area is the trigger, which is when a new channel message is added. Here, you'll need to select the team, so this could be your sales and marketing team, your development team, or testing team, and so on. For this example, we'll choose development. And in this section, we'll need to select the channel that the message is in. So we'll choose emails. The next part is your action, so this sends the email. You'll need to select who you want to send the email to. For this section, I will select my own email, so Andrew Brown. I could select someone else from the team, but for this example, I'll just leave it for myself. The subject is new message on Microsoft Teams channel. This should be fine as is, unless you want to change it up a bit. You can customize the body however you like. You can add dynamic content, which allows users to pass data between different actions in a flow, making the flow more flexible and efficient. Users can extract data from various sources and use them as input to automate workflows without having to hard code them into the flow. Dynamic content can include information such as email addresses, file names, dates, and other data elements that can be passed between different actions in a flow. So if we were to delete the message from, we can simply add the dynamic content called message from user display name. We won't have to change anything here since it's a simple automated flow. Next, we'll click on Save. And that's it, your flow is ready to go. You can go test this out by sending a message in the Teams channel and see if it sends you an email. So I'm on my Teams right now, currently at the email channel, which is where I set up my automated flow to be. Here, I'll type in something like this is a test. After a moment, we should receive the email in our Outlook. So as you can see, we have received the automated email from Teams, so the automated flow works great. Let's try to make another flow. We can try to not use a template this time. Instead, we'll start from blank. So this is the trigger section where there are many to choose from. We'll try something simple like when a file is created in OneDrive. So click on that and click on Create. It's a very similar process to the previous method, but here you have a bit more freedom. So for the folder, we'll select Development. And for the action, we can choose whatever action we want, and you can have as many actions as you need as well. So we'll go with something email related, like send an email. Let's search for email in the search bar. And let's click on Send an email. So same thing as before, we'll enter in the fields. I'll send this to myself, so Andrew Brown. This is where dynamic content is very helpful since the fields aren't filled in for you when you create it from blank. The subject can be the file name. And the body could be the file identifier. You can give it a title if you want, but the ones they generate for you are decent enough. After that, you just press Save. And this automated flow should be ready to use. So this is pretty straightforward and helpful with automating repetitive tasks and much more. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be covering Power Virtual Agents in greater detail, including its main features and components. Power Virtual Agents provides teams with a simple and intuitive way to create powerful chatbots using a guided, no-code graphical interface without the need for technical expertise or coding knowledge. It effectively addresses common challenges associated with bot building, including the disconnect between subject matter experts and development teams, as well as delays in updating bots to address issues. By eliminating the need for complex coding and technical knowledge, Power Virtual Agent streamlines the bot building process and reduces the IT resources required to deploy and maintain custom conversational solutions. Using Power Virtual Agents, you can empower your teams by allowing them to easily build chatbots themselves without needing intermediaries, coding, or AI expertise. Reduce costs by easily automating common inquiries and freeing human agent time to deal with more complex issues. Improve customer satisfaction by allowing customers to self-help and resolve issues quickly 24/7 using rich personalized bot conversations. Some of the ways that Power Virtual Agents bots have been used include COVID-19 infection rate and tracking information, sales help and support issues, opening hours and store information, employee health and vacation benefits, and common employee questions for businesses. Power Virtual Agents is available as both a standalone web app and as a discrete app within Microsoft Teams. The next topic we'll be covering are the features of Power Virtual Agents. 1. Get started in seconds. Power Virtual Agents is a software as a service offering. It allows you to easily sign up, create your chatbot, and embed it into your website with just a few clicks. There is no infrastructure to maintain or complex systems to deploy. 2. Empower your subject matter experts. Using Power Virtual Agents, you have full control. Your SMEs can create chatbots quickly and easily using a novel, intuitive, code-free graphical interface, eliminating the need for AI expertise or teams of developers. 3. Enable rich, natural conversations. Microsoft's advanced conversational AI technology enables end users to engage in multi-turn conversations that effectively and quickly guide them to the correct solution. There is no need to retrain AI models. Simply provide a few examples of the topic you want the chatbot to handle, utilize the graphical editor to build the conversation, and your chatbot will be ready to respond to customer requests. Additionally, the test pane feature allows you to preview and test any changes made in real time. 4. Enable chatbots to take action. Chatbots that can chat with your users are great, but chatbots that can act on their behalf are even better. Power Virtual Agents provides the capability to integrate with services and back-end systems through out-of-the-box integration or via custom connectors that can be easily added through Power Automate. This makes it simple to create a chatbot that not only responds to the user, but also acts on their behalf. 5. Monitor and improve chatbot performance. Power Virtual Agents offers advanced metrics and AI-driven dashboards that enable you to monitor the performance of your chatbots. Easily track which topics are successful and identify areas where the chatbot could improve, allowing you to make quick changes to improve performance. 6. Better together. Power Virtual Agents and Dynamics 365 Customer Service Insights work seamlessly together to provide a comprehensive perspective of your customer service operations. By utilizing both platforms, you can identify trending topics or support resource consumption, and then easily automate those tasks. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be covering the components of Power Virtual Agents. Starting off with topics. In Power Virtual Agents, a topic defines how a chatbot conversation plays out. You have the option to customize existing templates, create new topics from scratch, or use suggestions from existing help sites to develop these topics. A topic has trigger phrases. These are phrases, keywords, or questions that a user is likely to type that is related to a specific issue. And conversation nodes. These are what you use to define how a chatbot should respond and what it should do. The AI leverages natural language understanding to interpret what a customer types and identify the most suitable trigger phrase or node. For example, if a customer types open hours into the chatbot, the AI can match it to the store hours topic and initiate a conversation that asks which store the customer is interested in and displays the hours of operation for that store. Use system and sample topics. When you create a chatbot, a number of topics will be automatically created for you. 4 prepopulated user topics that are titled as lessons. These lesson topics provide guidance on creating simple to complex chatbot conversations using nodes, a number of system topics. These are pre-populated topics that you are likely to need during a chatbot conversation. They are recommended to be used until you are comfortable with creating an end-to-end chatbot conversation. You can edit both topic types in the same manner as for topics you create, however, you cannot delete them. The next component of Power Virtual Agents we'll be covering are entities. In Power Virtual Agents, natural language understanding plays a significant role in chatbot conversations by allowing the AI to understand a user's intent. For example, if a user says, "I'm having trouble using my gift card," the chatbot can recognize the user's intent and direct them to the relevant topic about gift card issues. Natural language understanding involves identifying entities in a user's dialogue. An entity represents a type of real-world subject, such as a phone number, zip code, city, or person's name. Pre-built entities. Power Virtual Agents provides a range of pre-built entities that represent commonly used information in real-world conversations, such as age, colors, numbers, and names. These entities allow the chatbot to intelligently identify relevant information from user inputs and save it for later use. Custom entities. While the pre-built entities in Power Virtual Agents cover frequently used information types, there may be instances where you need to train the chatbot's language understanding model with specialized knowledge that is specific to the chatbot's domain or purpose. The next component of Power Virtual Agents are actions. By using Microsoft Power Automate flows, you can enable your chatbot to execute actions, such as automating activities or calling back-end systems. For example, you can use flows with end-user authentication to retrieve information about a user after they sign in. You can call flows from within topics as a discrete call and action node. You can utilize flows that have already been created in your Power Apps environment, or you can create a flow from within the Power Virtual Agents authoring canvas. So that's a general overview of entities and actions in Power Virtual Agents. The next topic we'll be covering is publishing Power Virtual Agents chatbots. Power Virtual Agents allows you to publish chatbots on various platforms or channels such as websites, mobile apps, and messaging platforms like Microsoft Teams and Facebook. After you have published at least once, you can connect your chatbot to additional channels. Any updates to your chatbot require republishing it from the Power Virtual Agents app, which will update the chatbot across all channels where you've inserted or connected your chatbot. Additionally, you can configure a Power Virtual Agents chatbot to provide authentication capabilities, so users can sign in with any OAuth 2 identity provider such as Azure Active Directory, a Microsoft account, or Facebook. Steps to publish a Power Virtual Agents chatbot. 1. In the Power Virtual Agents portal, navigate to the authoring canvas for the chatbot you want to publish. 2. Click on the Publish button in the top right corner of the screen. 3. On the Publish page, review the information provided, including the version number and the changes that will be published. 4. If you are satisfied with the information, click the Publish button at the bottom of the page. 5. After the chatbot is published, you can find the link to the chatbot on the channels page of the authoring canvas. 6. To make the chatbot available on a specific channel, such as Facebook Messenger or Microsoft Teams, you will need to configure the channel in the Power Virtual Agents portal and follow the instructions provided. Note that before publishing your chatbot, you should thoroughly test it to ensure that it is working as intended and that it provides a good user experience. You can test your chatbot using the TestBot feature in the authoring canvas. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from ExamPro, and the next topic we'll be covering is how to make chatbot available in Teams. Power Virtual Agents is a no-code, guided graphical interface solution that allows every member of your team to create rich, conversational chatbots that easily integrate with the Teams platform. All content authored in Power Virtual Agents renders naturally in Teams. IT administrators, business analysts, domain specialists, and skilled app developers can design, develop, and publish intelligent virtual agents for Teams without having to set up a development environment. They can create a web service or directly register with the bot framework. To make your chatbot available in Teams through the Power Virtual Agents portal, you must perform the following process steps. 1. Publish the latest bot content. After creating a chatbot in the Power Virtual Agents portal, you must publish your bot before Teams users can interact with it. 2. Configure the Teams channel. After publishing your bot, add the Teams channel to make the bot available to Teams users. 3. Generate an app ID for your chatbot. After adding the Teams channel to your chatbot, an app ID is generated in the dialog box. The app ID is a unique Microsoft-generated identifier for your bot. Save the app ID to create an app package for Teams. Additionally, you can add your bot to Teams using Developer Portal, which requires another set of instructions that won't be necessary for the exam. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and the next thing we'll be covering is how to create a topic. Perform the following procedure steps. 1. In the navigation menu, select Topics. 2. Select New Topic. 3. If the trigger phrases pane does not automatically appear, select it from the options to make it visible. 4. Provide one or multiple phrases that will activate the topic in the trigger phrases section. You can specify more than one trigger phrase for a topic. You can include punctuation in a trigger phrase, but it's best to use short phrases rather than long sentences. 5. Select Details to open the Topic Details pane. 6. Enter a name for your topic and, optionally, a display name and description. The bot uses the display name when it needs to know which topic the person is asking about. The description is not visible to users and is intended for explaining the objective of the topic to yourself and other bot developers. Also, to modify the name of the topic, select its existing name and provide a new value. And the 7th and last thing you'll need to do is to select Save to add the topic to the topics list. So, these are the following steps to create a topic. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be covering the latest addition to the Power Platform called Power Pages. Microsoft Power Pages is a SaaS platform that provides a secure and enterprise-grade environment for creating and administering modern external-facing business websites. It is a low-code platform that can be used by both low-code makers and professional developers to quickly design, configure, and publish websites that work seamlessly on web browsers and devices. With Power Pages, users can create and host websites with ease while ensuring high-level security for their business data. Power Pages offers a redesigned design studio for a seamless visual experience, customizable templates, and an integrated learning hub to assist in building business websites that cater to specific needs. Power Pages also allows users to utilize the same shared business data stored in Microsoft Dataverse for building apps, workflows, virtual agents, reports, and analytics across various Power Platform components in an organization. So that's a general overview of Power Pages. The next topic we'll be discussing are the main capabilities of Power Pages. Power Pages makes it easy for creators to author content by allowing them to quickly produce new websites from the Power Pages homepage. You can choose to use the default template or select from industry-specific starting templates. Design Studio. Creators can build powerful and captivating sites without the need for coding expertise. The improved Design Studio includes several workspaces to support various functions. Pages Workspace enables creators to generate, design, and organize web pages. Styling Workspace allows users to apply styles and themes to their site. Data Workspace provides the ability to create and modify Microsoft Dataverse tables utilized in data-powered web applications. Setup Workspace facilitates site administration and management tasks. Responsive Rendering. Power Pages is built on Bootstrap, a front-end framework that supports the development of responsive, mobile-friendly websites that can be accessed across multiple form factors. Websites created by Power Pages will automatically adjust to different screen sizes and devices, providing a seamless user experience. Advanced development capabilities for pro developers. Users can work with pro developers and Fusion teams to extend the functionality using Visual Studio Code and the Microsoft Power Platform CLI to create powerful business application websites. Security and governance. Power Pages and built security as its core, enabling organizations to securely provide access to their business data for both internal and external users through Power Pages authorization rules. Organizations that use Power Pages can choose from various authentication providers or allow anonymous access to site content. Power Pages is hosted as Azure App Service, which has International Organization for Standardization, System and Organization Controls, and Payment Card Industry Data Security Standards compliance. Power Pages supports modern TLS crypto standards and includes built-in Azure DDoS protection. Additionally, it provides dynamic IP restriction to limit traffic from malicious sources and secure configuration-driven mechanisms for admins to address top web security vulnerabilities such as injection attacks, cross-site request forgery, and server-side request forgery. It supports edge caching and web application firewall capabilities, which can be configured to enhance security further. Power Pages provides some helpful tools for administrators to manage the administration and lifecycle of their sites and environments. The next topic we'll be covering are Power Pages templates. When creating a new Power Pages site, you have the option to select a starter layout template to build your site, or choose scenario-based templates to speed up the process of creating your site. Starter layout templates. The starter layout templates provide building blocks for you to create custom sites. There are multiple variations of this template, each with different layout, images, and colors that can be used as is or customized to meet your needs. After-School Program Registration Template. The After-School Program Registration Template is designed to show you the capabilities of a registration site to create events and allow stakeholders to register. Schedule Meetings with a Financial Institution Template. The Schedule Meetings with a Financial Institution template is designed to show you the capabilities of a scheduling template. This template allows users to view the availability of financial institution representatives and schedule a meeting online. Building Permit Application Template. The Building Permit Application template is meant to showcase the features of a site for submitting applications, allowing customers to submit their building permit applications and receive email notifications regarding the status of their application. Blank Page Template. The Blank Page template offers a completely customizable website creation option, including a header, footer, and a single section on the homepage. It allows users to build a website tailored to their specific needs. So, these are the various types of Power Page templates you'll be able to select based on your business needs. Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we'll be covering how Power Pages can integrate with other Microsoft Power Platform components. So, Power Pages provides deep integration with other Microsoft Power Platform components. Dataverse provides a secure platform for storing and managing data that can be utilized by both business applications and Power Pages sites. Users can take advantage of model-driven app components such as forms, views, charts, and dashboards to quickly and easily display Dataverse data. Power Apps enables users to create no-code, low-code custom mobile and web apps to share and collect data and streamline business processes. Using Power Apps to create an app that uses SharePoint to store content is a popular way to quickly build basic intranet sites. Power Pages is ideal for websites focused on external audiences that require more secure access to your business information. Power Automate provides a simple way to create automated workflows. With Power Pages, you can use Power Automate for plugins, workflows, and automated cloud flows to extend business logic and interact with data and events that are being transferred in and out of Dataverse. Power BI allows anyone to access visually immersive and interactive insights from business data. With Power Pages, integrate with Power BI to access components like reports, dashboards, and tiles. Use the embed capability to surface data that sits outside of Dataverse. Power Virtual Agents enables teams to easily create and publish AI-driven chatbot experiences. These chatbots can be easily added to external-facing websites using Power Pages for various business purposes.